Chapter 505. When do you plan to leave? Immediately? What? He originally thought that Sakura had just mentioned it and hadn't thought of when to leave, but the old man didn't think of it. Yes, I don't have time to quickly improve my strength, so I plan to leave in a while and go to the realm of the gods to train. Give me 100 years. I will return after 100 years, and I will tell you my answer then. Hearing Sakura's words, the old man went silent. But after a while, he looked at Sakura with eyes full of determination and said, "Okay, remember what you said. After 100 years, even if you don't return, I will send people to catch you. At that time, whether you want to be the saint of assassins or not, it won't be up to you." Yes. Hearing the old man's words, Sakura nodded and agreed. I understand. If there's nothing else, I will take my leave first. Okay, go ahead. Seeing Sakura leave his room, the old man hurriedly said to the empty space in front of him, "Follow him. You heard what I said just now. Remember not to let him be in any danger. Of course, as I said, if there is no danger to his life, you can let him go. This is for you." Saying that, the old man took out a heavenward golden token and said in a cautious tone, "Give him all the financial and material resources of the Assassin's branch on the way as long as he needs them. I believe he will not let me down." Yes. At this moment, Tan Lang appeared in the air and took the token from the old man before leaving. "Hee, little guy. I hope you won't let me down and don't let me misjudge you." The old man smiled as he watched the two of them leave. Then, he closed his eyes and began to meditate. After coming out of the old man's room, Sakura didn't go to the top floor. Instead, he walked out of the heaven's abode and looked at the bustling streets with people coming and going. For a moment, Sakura relaxed a lot. "I hope I can see you during this training." Without stopping, Sakura left the heaven's abode and walked into the distance. At this moment, Tam Lang, who was sent by the old man, was observing his every move. Within the forbidden valley of the divine sect of the Pai province, within the stomach of the thousand-legged centipede, Linley had already retracted his increased power. I didn't expect that my clone would forcefully raise my cultivation to the peak of the advanced stage of Heavenly Soldier right after I reached the early stage of Divine Soldier. It seems that my cultivation will be even faster in the future. Thinking of this, Lin Ray couldn't help but feel excited. If he had known earlier, the amount of energy he needed to raise his cultivation was enormous. Now that he had broken through so much in such a short period of time, it could already be considered a miracle. How could he not be happy? Save it. How could there be such a beautiful thing in this world? The little dragon's sarcastic voice sounded, but Lin Ray was already used to it. You only see that your cultivation base has increased, but you don't see how weak your cultivation base is right now. Tell me, with your cultivation base, who can you defeat? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray subconsciously checked his cultivation base. Sure enough, it was just as the little dragon had said. At this moment, the spirit in the Dan Palace was very dim and the aura of his cultivation base was unstable. It was like a small sapling that was about to be blown away by the wind. How could this be? Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was shocked. Compared to his previous cultivation base, it was simply not on the same level. Moreover, the little dragon was right. If he were to meet a cultivator of the same level as him, he would be killed on the spot within a few rounds. Sai, I forgot to tell you that although you and your clone share the same cultivation base, don't forget that your clone's cultivation base is different from yours. Others need a bottle of water, but you need dozens or even hundreds of times more than others. Therefore, this result was an accident. Hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Ray was stunned. If it was really like what the little dragon had said, then wouldn't he be defeated by his clone in the future? Thinking of this, Lin Ray couldn't take it anymore. Originally, he thought that with the double improvement of his clone, he could quickly enter a higher level. However, it seemed that this was not the case at all. Instead, the situation was even worse. Then tell me, what should I do? If my clone's cultivation base increases again, then wouldn't my previously indestructible Tao foundation be destroyed? Speaking of this, Lin Ray didn't dare to say anymore. He didn't know what to do. If that was really the case, then all his previous efforts and all the pain he had suffered before would all be for naught. Looking at Lin Ray's crazy excited appearance, the little dragon didn't act like before to keep Lin Ray in suspense. He then said, "Actually, it's not that bad. Just like before, when you were in contact with Red Lotus. Red Lotus, you can do this with your clone. As long as you are in contact and share your cultivation base, then you can suppress your cultivation base and work hard to make up for the deficit in your previous cultivation base." Really? After hearing the little dragon's solution, Lin Ray, who had a worried look on his face, relaxed and revealed a smile. Don't worry. As long as you suppress your cultivation base, cultivate well, and work hard to make up for the deficit, then everything will be fine. Leave the rest to me. Hearing the little dragon's righteous words, Lin Ray was a little stunned. He even suspected that the little dragon in front of him was still the little dragon he knew. Did the sun rise from the west? This change in temperament made Lin Ray somewhat uncomfortable. How could the little dragon not know Lin Ray's thoughts? He didn't say anything and only glared at Lin Ray. How am I supposed to get out? At this moment, Lin Ray was in a difficult position. He didn't know how to get out. He really had no way to deal with this thousand-legged worm. Even the Chaos Dragon spear couldn't pierce through it. I'll help you this time. Heh. Looking at the little dragon's sulky look, Lin Ray shamelessly made a funny face at the little dragon. Uffed. Ha. In an instant, the little dragon who couldn't stand Lin Ray's look instantly burst out laughing. All his anger from before had disappeared. When will you grow up? You're already so old. Why are you still acting like a child? Although the little dragon said that he was very happy in his heart. Just be happy. Stop pretending. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't be worthy to be your brother. Looking at the little dragon's appearance, Lin Ray was helpless. He closed his eyes and left the rest to the little dragon. He believed that the little dragon could do it well. Stinky brat. Seeing Lin Ray's action, the little dragon didn't care anymore. After laughing, he put on a serious face. How can I waste such a good thing? With you, this brat's speed of improvement will be faster. Who knows? It might even be possible for him to break through to the divine ancestor realm within 10,000 years. Looking at the automatic energy source in front of him, the little dragon was very reluctant to part with it. Moreover, when he thought of Lin Ray, he was even more determined to accept this thing. System, you have to help me this time. This thing is an existence that can reach the peak of the saint stage. With my current energy, it's not enough to do it. Yes, okay. The system agreed readily. For something that could help Lin Ray, there was no reason for the system to refuse. Heaven and earth, with me as the medium, accept, receive. The system's mechanical voice sounded. Suddenly, a strange force appeared. Even the little dragon couldn't help but reveal a look of admiration. Whoa, the thousand-tentacle worm cried out in pain. Instantly, Lin Ray, who was originally meditating, woke up the moment the thousand-tentacle worm roared. He watched as a strange energy appeared and wrapped around him, slowly moving him outside. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray couldn't help but turn to look at the little dragon who was standing in the same place. His eyes were filled with gratitude, and at the same time, the worry in his heart was relieved. He didn't resist. He was wrapped in the energy and slowly moved outwards. He didn't know how much time had passed. He only knew that he would stop for a short while and move outwards. Finally, a cave filled with light appeared in front of him. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was excited. He clearly knew that this was the mouth of the thousand-tentacle worm. As long as he could reach the front, he could completely leave this disgusting green liquid. Don't move. You have to know that it's very troublesome to get you out of here. In the future, if you don't bring me good treasures that can replenish souls, you'll be letting me down. At this moment, the little dragon's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Ray's body stiffened. At the same time, he felt very guilty. Yes, don't worry. In the future, I will definitely find you many treasures that can replenish souls. This sentence was deeply engraved in Lin Ray's heart, and he didn't dare to forget it. Not only for today's matter, but also to thank the little dragon for helping him and choosing him. Haha, all right, don't move. We'll be out soon. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the little dragon smiled and then sped up. The mysterious seals in its hands were formed so quickly that Lin Ray, who had been observing the little dragon, couldn't see it clearly at all, let alone the mysterious seals. As time passed, the cave entrance got closer and closer. Finally, with a plop, Lin Ray was caught off guard and directly separated from the thousand-tentacle worm's body and fell to the ground. Oh my, I'm finally out. Lin Ray, who fell to the ground, didn't rush to get up. Instead, he lay on the ground and breathed in the fresh air outside, frantically, with an intoxicated look on his face. Return. Just as Lin Ray was breathing in the fresh air, the system's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Ray frowned and looked up. The huge worm beside him disappeared in the blink of an eye. Woo, woo, woo. Before it disappeared, the thousand-tentacle worm didn't forget to struggle one last time. However, it was all in vain. In the end, it still couldn't escape from the system's capture. Hee hee, kid, you're in luck this time. The thousand-tentacle worm has been absorbed into the system. In the future, it will be your mobile energy source. Chapter 506. Really, this news was really good news for Lin Ray. If this was the case, as long as his cultivation level increased in the future, he would not have to worry about finding energy. Not bad. Looking at the little dragon's determined look, Lin Ray was extremely excited. That's great. As he spoke, his fatigue disappeared at this moment. At this moment, a disgusting stench suddenly rushed into Lin Ray's mouth and nose. Suddenly, his stomach churned. Damn, I didn't smell it inside, but I didn't expect to be unable to get used to it after coming out. As he spoke, his divine sense instantly spread out, and everything within 100 miles fell into Lin Ray's mind. Found it. In the southeast, there was a huge lake. After seeing it, Lin Ray did not even think about it, and did not care whether there were demon beasts there or not. At this moment, he could not stand this disgusting smell for a moment longer. Immediately, his body moved, and his entire person instantly disappeared from the spot. Plop! The sound of something falling into the water was heard, and then a figure emerged from the lake. Phew! After a long sigh of relief, seeing that the disgusting green mucus on his body had lessened a little, Lin Ray's heart felt refreshed. Damn, the smell is finally not so strong. As he spoke, Lin Ray plunged into the water. For a long time, Lin Ray's figure was not seen on the surface of the water. At this moment, in the lake, Lin Ray was like a fish in the sky, freely swimming in the lake without any restraint. On the shore, the little dragon stood there looking at Lin Ray in the water, and a happy smile appeared on his face. Sigh, he's still a child. Looking at Lin Ray's carefree smile, the little dragon was instantly infected. Although he was a spiritual body, it did not prevent him from entering the water. It was just that he could not feel the surrounding water. The moment the little dragon entered the lake, a feeling arose spontaneously, as if there was something in the water. Immediately, ignoring Lin Ray beside him, he rushed towards the bottom of the lake alone. It was as if there was no end to the lake. 300 meters, 1,000 meters, 3,000 meters. When the little dragon reached a depth of 3,000 meters, he could not go any further. It was not because he cannot do it, but because he cannot be too far away from Lin Ray. Otherwise, the system would directly erase him, even though he was a weapon spirit born by the system. So I forget it. Let that brat come down. Who knows? We might even discover something unexpected. With that, the little dragon disappeared from the bottom of the 3,000-meter deep lake. When it reappeared, it had already returned to the system. Lin Ray, stop fooling around. Hurry up and dive down to see what's at the bottom of the lake. Just now I dived down to 3,000 meters, but due to the system, I couldn't go any deeper. I think the bottom of the lake is definitely not simple. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray, who was happily playing around, suddenly stopped in the water. He looked at the little dragon with a puzzled expression and asked, "What? This lake is so deep." Lin Ray did not believe it. It was impossible for an ordinary lake to be so deep. If it was really so deep, then there might really be something in the lake. Not bad, and we don't know. Maybe it's even deeper. Go down and take a look. Anyway, there's no harm in it. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray turned around and agreed. Then, he plunged his body and swam towards the depths of the lake at extreme speed. 1,000 meters, 3,000 meters. When Lin Ray dived down to 3,000 meters, a chill instantly attacked Lin Ray's heart. Damn, what's going on? Why did the surrounding temperature drop so much? Lin Ray, who felt something strange, couldn't help but say, "Boom!" Then, involuntarily, the illusory spirit blood fire rushed out of his body and formed a blood-red coat that wrapped Lin Ray in it. Phew, that's right. This temperature is just right. Feeling the surrounding temperature rise with the help of the illusory spirit blood fire, Lin Ray returned to his previous calmness. As for the chill, Lin Ray didn't understand it at all. Either there was some kind of ice attribute demon beast at the bottom of the lake, or there was some kind of cold attribute treasure at the bottom of the lake. As for what it was specifically, Lin Ray wasn't sure yet. Okay, don't say any more. Hurry up and go down. I think there must be something good down there. Lin Ray agreed with the little dragon's words. As the saying goes, wealth comes from danger. If you want to have something good, you have to pay a price. Okay, but you have to be careful. If there's something that can't be detected by divine sense, you have to remind me. Okay, I got it. With the little dragon's words, Lin Ray didn't hesitate and began to dive again. This time, Lin Ray didn't dare to be careless. Previously, there was the little dragon testing the water. This time, it was the real deal. Hua, hua, hua. The sound of the surrounding water brushing against Lin Ray's body made Lin Ray's hair stand. But there was nothing he could do. 4,000 meters. Until 4,000 meters, something that Lin Ray didn't expect appeared. He saw a skull flying towards him from the bottom of the lake. Hiss! Lin Ray, who was caught off guard, was directly hit by the skull. Fortunately, it was his arm that was hit and not his face. Hiss! The moment he was hit by the skull, a wave of pain spread from his arm to his entire body like an electric shock. Damn, what's going on? He felt that something was wrong. Lin Ray was ready to reach out and grab it, but when he turned around, there was still the shadow of the skull. The pain was still there, and right now, Linley's heart was filled with terror. He knew the limits of his own physical body. For a mere skull to be able to injure him like this, anyone would be curious and curious. Be careful, that thing is not simple. If I'm not wrong, that skull's hardness has reached a very high level. Fortunately, we're in the water. If we were on land and got hit by the skull, I'm afraid that your arm would be crippled. Lin Ray, who was originally curious, didn't hear the little dragon's words. His curiosity disappeared, and in addition to shock, there was only shock. Damn, this... Just when Lin Ray wanted to say something, the little dragon's words came again. Okay, don't waste time here. Hurry up and go down to take a look. But you have to be careful. There might be something underground. Well, okay. Lin Ray didn't deny the little dragon's words. He didn't have the chance to grab the skull and rush to the bottom of the lake again. This time, Lin Ray was very careful, and the little dragon was even more so. In order to prevent the previous incident from happening again, the little dragon was 120% careful. Lin Ray was very careful. This time, Lin Ray didn't go as fast as before. Instead, he greatly reduced the speed of his descent. After an unknown period of time, Lin Ray finally saw the bottom of the lake. However, when he reached the bottom of the lake, the surroundings were pitch black. If it weren't for the illusory spirit blood fire, perhaps Lin Ray couldn't see anything. Of course, seeing was not necessarily a good thing. At this moment, when he saw the bottom of the lake, Lin Ray was stunned. His eyes were full of shock and disbelief. How? How could there be so many corpses? At this moment, the entire bottom of the lake was full of skeletons. They looked up into the distance. Without exception, all of them were skeletons. Although Linley had seen quite a number of corpses compared to the scene here, they really paled in comparison to the scene here. Okay, be careful. I haven't sensed the existence of danger. But just in case, release the illusory spirit blood fire with all your strength. The illusory spirit blood fire could devour evil things. Boom! Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray immediately operated the chaos scripture. Suddenly, the illusory spirit blood fire was released and completely wrapped Lin Ray in it. After doing all this, Lin Ray was a little relieved, but he didn't let his guard down because of these preparations. Kacha! Kacha! Finally, his feet landed on the ground. The sound of bones crunching could be heard. This sound caused all the hairs on Linley's body to stand on end. He felt a chill run down his spine, as though something was staring at him. Go, straight from the front. Don't stop. I feel that there's something in front. Hearing the little dragon's voice, Lin Ray felt helpless. Damn it, it's easy for you to say. Although he thought so, he still followed the little dragon's instructions and walked forward. Kacha! Kacha! Sounds accompanied Lin Ray's footsteps. Although he was worried, he didn't stop because of this. Keep going, keep going. When they were about 100 meters away, the little dragon's excited voice came. Suddenly, the little dragon raised his eyebrows and rushed forward according to the little dragon's voice. At this moment, after staying here for a long time, he was not as scared as before. He flew all the way and only stopped when the little dragon's voice reached his ears. But after flying for a while, he still didn't hear the little dragon's voice. Gurgle, gurgle. At this moment, Lin Ray, who was waiting for the little dragon's reply, heard a strange sound and immediately turned his head to look. Not far in front of him, there were bubbles coming out. How could this be? Filled with curiosity, Lin Ray walked step by step to the place where the bubbles came out. Lin Ray squatted down and peeled off the skull on top. A red bead appeared in front of his eyes. Damn, what did I think it was? Seeing the red bead, Lin Ray was disappointed, but it was better than nothing. He immediately reached out to pick up the bead. But at this moment, just as Lin Ray's hand was about to touch the bead, a terrifying energy instantly blocked Lin Ray's hand, and he couldn't go any further. Upon seeing this, Linley was stunned, and then he turned all of his attention back to the red pearl. Little dragon, quickly come out and see what this red bead is. Why can't I touch it even when I use all my strength? What is that layer of energy on this bead? After a long time, there was still no sound from the little dragon. Lin Ray felt that something was wrong. Chapter 507. In an instant, Lin Ray wanted to retreat. But at this moment, a terrifying suction force appeared and pulled Lin Ray's body, preventing him from taking another step back. Ow! The moment he felt the suction force, his cultivation at the peak of the late stage of the divine weapon realm instantly tried to break free from the suction force. But the truth was that even if he released his cultivation, it was useless. It was still there. No matter what Lin Ray did, it was useless. He even used all kinds of methods, but in the end, he still could not break free. On the contrary, Lin Ray's body was approaching the red bead step by step. Little dragon, come out quickly, quickly. Feeling terrified, Lin Ray thought of the little dragon. But the result was the same as before. The little dragon did not move at all. When he felt that he could not rely on the little dragon, Lin Ray gave up the idea of looking for the little dragon. With a bang, he instantly used the chaotic dragon spear and stabbed it into the ground, trying to stop his body. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A sound like that of fine iron rubbing against each other was heard. But his body was still moving forward. F***, I can't be so unlucky. Looking at the red bead that was close to him, Lin Ray panicked. He did not know what to do at this moment. The suction force was getting stronger and stronger, so much so that Lin Ray's body was directly imprisoned and could not move. The suction force of the red bead was raging. In the end, Lin Ray's entire body was sucked in by the red bead. Then the suction force stopped. After an unknown period of time, Lin Ray felt that the imprisonment on his body had disappeared and he had regained his freedom. Only then did he slowly open his eyes. What entered his eyes was a blood-red land. In this place, Lin Ray did not see anything except for the color of blood. It was very spacious here, as if there was no end to it. Where is this? Lin Ray was puzzled. Looking at the blood-red space, his eyes were full of doubts. That's right, it's indeed like that. Just as Lin Ray was puzzled, the little dragon that Lin Ray had been searching for a long time appeared. F***CK, where did you go? Do you know I've been looking for you for a long time, you bastard? Looking at the little dragon that suddenly appeared, Lin Ray was very angry. At the same time, he was worried that the little dragon would disappear the moment he saw it. This is very troublesome to explain. Let's not talk about me for now. Let's talk about you. You've struck gold this time. I never expected that there would be so many good things in the divine realm. You actually managed to find 2 good things in one place. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray's heart skipped a beat. If the little dragon said something good, then it was definitely something good, just like the 1,000-legged worm from before. Come. Tell me what's so good about this place. Hee. Looking at Lin Ray's extremely wretched smile, the little dragon hurriedly said in disdain, "It's good to say it's good, but it's also not good to say it's not good. However, with me here, this thing is definitely good." Stop. Seeing the little dragon dawdling and not getting to the main point, Lin Ray couldn't stand it anymore and stopped it. "I want to know its use. Why are you telling me so much nonsense here?" With regards to Lin Ray interrupting it, the little dragon had completely accepted it. Then, seeing Lin Ray's anxious look, it immediately wrote down the information about the blood-red space. This place, if I'm not wrong, should be a secret realm. Moreover, it's a treasured place that can help you improve your cultivation. Hearing this, Lin Ray couldn't stay calm anymore. He immediately asked, "What's that?" "Killing bead. A good thing that can help you improve your alchemy, formation, and refining realms." Indeed, upon hearing Xiaolong's explanation of this place, Linley was overjoyed. He had wanted to break through these 3 levels of training as soon as possible, but who would have thought that by a freak combination of factors, he would be able to find something like this? Don't be happy too early. Although this killing bead can help you improve, it also has a lot of drawbacks. I suspect that this place should be an ancient battlefield. As for this killing bead, it should be formed from the divine sense and mental strength of those who died. In the end, it was fused with the blood of those who died. This kind of thing is not common. Similarly, since it inherited the mental strength of those who died, it also inherited the resentment of those who died here and its own killing chi. What? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was dumbfounded. If it was really like what the little dragon said, and he absorbed it, wouldn't he become a killing machine in the end? Thinking of this, Lin Ray couldn't help but shudder. At the same time, he began to feel conflicted about the killing bead in his heart. That's right. Don't worry. With me here, these won't be a problem. Hearing the little dragon's annoying words, Lin Ray directly rushed forward and started to punch and kick. Although all of his attacks ended up in vain, at least the anger in Lin Ray's heart was vented. Let me tell you, in the future, can you say everything in one go? If you do this again, Looking at Lin Ray's appearance with interest, the little dragon opened his mouth and said, "You." Looking at the little dragon's annoying appearance, Lin Ray really wanted to quickly become a flesh and blood person. That way, he could personally beat him up. Humph, hurry up and say it. What should I do? He didn't talk nonsense. He had already been in here for so long. As for the situation outside, he didn't know. He was very anxious. He wanted to quickly go out and see how the outside was like when he wasn't here. He wanted to see how Sakura was doing. Knowing Lin Ray's heart, the little dragon quickly said, "Okay, it's very simple. You just need to find the exit and eat the killing bead after you go out. After that, you don't need to care about everything. As for alchemy, a ray master, and your own blacksmith level, you don't need to care about them. As long as the problem of the moon killing bead is solved, your level will automatically increase." Okay. After knowing this matter, Lin Ray calmed down. But as for how to go out, it was still a very big problem. "What? Don't ask me. Since I have already helped you settle the killing bead, I'll leave the rest to you. Moreover, you can't always ask me in the future. What if one day I'm not here? So, you have to face it alone. Calm down." As soon as the voice fell, the little dragon's figure disappeared in front of Lin Ray and returned to the system. At this moment, After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray agreed. At the same time, he was anxious about the little dragon's words. He didn't want the little dragon to disappear. Although they usually bickered, the little dragon had already become family to him. Therefore, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray's face turned gloomy. He was very unhappy. Good people don't live long, but bad people live for 1,000 years. You're such a scammer. How can you disappear so early? You still have to watch me attaining my Tao. After saying that, the corner of Lin Ray's mouth rose, and he smiled. Then, he strode forward. Since he had to find a way out himself, the only way was to see if there was a special door. Aya, why are you so stupid? I've already told you that I'll get rid of you. I'll get rid of you. Can't you just think about it? Seriously, Aya. At this moment, the little dragon, who was in the system, saw how clumsy Lin Ray was. He actually wanted to see if there was a way out from the fiendish pearl. This was undoubtedly courting death, and it was also a waste of time. Huff, huff, huff. At this moment, Lin Ray, who didn't know how long he had walked, was very tired. There was no spiritual energy here. Moreover, Lin Ray realized that the spiritual energy in his body was depleting very quickly. Lin Ray, who was bent over and holding his knees, panted heavily as he raised his head to look at the endless red in front of him. Suddenly, he felt dizzy. Aya, since when is this a trap? How do I get out? Although he was complaining, Lin Ray didn't give up looking. After resting enough, Lin Ray went on the path to find the door again. Apart from the red, there was nothing else. Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. He wasn't just physically and mentally exhausted. At this moment, he was about to be driven crazy by this place. How do I get out? I want to get out. Plop. Glia. Just as Lin Ray finished shouting at the red space, Lin Ray's body disappeared uncontrollably from the red space. When Lin Ray reappeared, he felt a chill all over his body. A wave of coldness instantly soared. A mouthful of water went straight into Lin Ray's mouth. Lin Ray choked on the water and started coughing violently. The moment this series of events happened, Lin Ray was stunned. He opened his eyes and looked around. At this moment, he was no longer in the red space. Instead, it was pitch black and there was water all around him. Ugh, I'm out. Achoo. Just when Lin Ray was happy that he was out, the coldness got worse and worse. Lin Ray's legs were already frozen. Boom. Without any time to think, he instantly cast the illusory spirit blood flame and wrapped his entire body. He was now in flames at the bottom of the lake. Sigh, aren't you stupid? I already said that I'll get rid of you. You didn't even understand and wasted so much time to come out. I'm really having a headache for your IQ. The little dragon's sarcastic voice sounded. Lin Ray immediately rolled his eyes to express his current feelings. Damn, how would I know what you're thinking? Besides, you said that you'll only help me get rid of it. It doesn't include getting rid of me. Only after he said, worried, did Linley realize that Xiaolong was just playing word games with him. Instantly, Linley exploded with rage. Damn you. Do you know that I almost died of exhaustion just now? Look at you. How old are you? Why are you still acting like a child? You're really worrisome. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't have the chance to talk to the little dragon. Instead, he squatted down and reached for the infernal pearl. It's gone. Without any hindrance, he directly grabbed the infernal pearl in his hand and stood up tightly. Then, he lifted his head and looked at the little dragon beside him. Instantly, Lin Ray understood what was going on. Chapter 508. All right, don't look at me. Keep it well. I'll tell you after I've completely removed the harmful energy from the fiendish pearl. Looking at the little dragon, there was only one sentence that he wanted to say. Thank you, little dragon. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the little dragon froze on the spot. To prevent Lin Ray from seeing its abnormal state, the little dragon hurriedly said, all right, hurry up and get up. Looking at the little dragon's panicked state, Lin Ray chuckled and stood up. His entire body was covered in illusory spirit blood fire. He was like a mighty fire god. Let's go. I've already searched the entire bottom of the lake for you. Other than the fiendish pearl, there's nothing else that's worthy of your search. After speaking, the little dragon disappeared from Lin Rei's sight and returned to the system. When Lin Rei heard the little dragon's words, he was stunned. He was stunned for a moment before he realized what was going on. A smile appeared on his face. Tisk. Then, without stopping at the bottom of the lake, Lin Rei immediately rushed to the shore. Whoosh! At this moment, Gu Si, who had been searching for Lin Rei in the mountains of Divinity Sect, was filled with despair. At this moment, a dazzling stream of light rushed over from afar. Gu Si's sharp eyes and agile hands immediately caught the stream of light. Sect voice transmission? When she opened her palm and saw that the thing she had grabbed was the Sect's voice transmission, Gu Si's entire body tensed up. Gu Si, the once-in-a-million-years Tendo conference has begun. I order you to quickly return to the Sect. Otherwise, I'll personally capture you. A majestic voice that couldn't be disobeyed was heard. Gu Si frowned instantly, and her face was filled with displeasure. Why is the Tendo conference being held at this time? Moreover, the million-year-old Tendo conference will be held soon. He had heard a bit about the Tendo convention. Although it was only held once every million years, no one dared to look down on him. During the Tendo convention, all the major sects in the divine realm would send people to participate. Not only the sects, even the people from the empires would go. This was because if someone could win the Tendo convention, they would be bestowed with a very amazing treasure by the Tendo. With this treasure, the number one sect in the divine realm would be the sect favored by the Tendo. Therefore, during the once-in-a-million-years Tendo convention, all the major sects would send their elites to participate. Moreover, there was an age limit of 100,000 years. Therefore, all the major sects had high hopes for the younger generation of disciples. Especially during the first 100,000 years of the Tendo convention, all the major sects would gather talented people to prepare for the Tendo convention. Tisk, junior brother Lin, it seems that I've harmed you. I didn't expect that a sentence from me would cause your death. As she spoke, Gu Si's eyes became moist. Her entire body trembled as she stared at the mountains in front of her with a pair of remorseful eyes. Don't worry. When I return from the Tendo convention, I'll definitely come here and go into seclusion until the end of my life. As she spoke, Gu Si turned around and flew towards the divine sect. Before she left, Gu Si looked at the mountains behind her with guilt and left. At this moment, in a lake in the valley, the surface of the lake was originally calm. However, at this moment, an explosion sounded and a figure charged out of the lake. Haha, I'm finally out. The person who came out was Lin Rei. Although he had gone down for a long time, it only took him a few minutes to come back up. When Lin Rei saw the beautiful scenery outside, he couldn't help but laugh. All right, stop being sentimental. Hurry up and leave this place. There's nothing here for you to linger on. At this moment, just as Lin Rei was feeling happy, the little dragon's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Rei stopped abruptly. He rolled his eyes at the little dragon and flew towards the entrance of the valley. Tisk, it's not easy to come here. How can you return empty-handed after entering a treasure mountain? The little dragon looked at Lin Rei with disdain. He was impressed that Lin Rei could say such shameless words. All right. Only you, Lin Rei, can say such shameless words. Since you want to take those spiritual herbs, so be it. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon knew that he couldn't persuade him, so he just ignored him. Along the way, Lin Rei would collect all the good-looking spiritual herbs he saw. Along the way, there were 13 storage rings and 38 storage bags. There were also bracelets and other things that could store things. They were all filled up by Lin Rei. In the end, the system became his shelter, whether good or bad. Even if the little dragon was unwilling, it finally agreed under Lin Rei's coaxing. Lin Rei didn't stop along the way. Not long after, all the spiritual herbs at the entrance of the valley were collected by Lin Rei. However, why didn't he leave even an inch of grass behind? That's not right. I remember it wasn't like this when I came in. Just as Lin Rei arrived at the entrance, he saw that the entrance had already been destroyed and was blocked by gravel. All right, stop wasting time. Why don't we just fly out of here? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray didn't say anything. He instantly used his cultivation, and his entire body floated up, flying out of the valley in an instant. Lin Ray, who was flying in the air, was like a fish in water. He began to fly in the air without any restrictions. Looks like I can't bring the divine sect in the future. If that second brother Huang makes things difficult for me, then I'll just... Lin Ray, who was flying freely, couldn't help but think about the future when he thought about returning to the sect and saw second brother Huang's face in Hainan. I agree. You should also make plans for the sect to advance to the divine realm. Hearing the little dragon agree with his idea, Lin Ray was instantly shocked. He originally thought that the little dragon would organize or remain silent. He didn't expect. Sensing Lin Ray's strange expression, the little dragon hurriedly said, "Don't look at me like that. Although the system gave you an order to join a sect for 1,000 years, it didn't say that you're not allowed to leave. As long as you're registered in the divine sect, it's fine. As for the rest, you can do whatever you want. The system won't interfere." Hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Ray nodded in agreement. Furthermore, he didn't want to stay in the divine sect forever. Not only would it be bad for his cultivation, it wouldn't be good for the group of people in his cave either. All right, since the system has agreed, then I'll bring them with me when I return. As for where they'll go, we'll talk about it when we're outside. After all, every single one of them are geniuses. It's fine to find a sect to accommodate them. As he spoke, the determined Lin Ray found the direction of the divine sect and quickly rushed over. Along the way, Lin Ray saw a lot of miscellaneous oddities as he shuttled through the forest in search of spiritual herbs. However, at this moment, a figure appeared in front of Lin Ray's eyes. When that familiar figure appeared, Lin Ray hurriedly transmitted his voice to him. "Senior Brother Gusi, where are you going?" Hearing this voice, Gusi thought that he was hallucinating because of his guilt towards Lin Ray. Therefore, he didn't have a chance and continued to fly. However, at this moment, Lin Ray's voice rang out again. This time, he heard it clearly. It wasn't a hallucination. "Senior Brother Gusi, wait for me." The instant Gusi heard this voice again, he hurriedly turned around. What entered his eyes was the figure of the Lin Ray that he had been yearning for day and night. "You didn't die?" His eyes were filled with excitement. At this moment, the tears in his eyes couldn't help but flow out. His entire body was trembling with excitement, as if he had epilepsy. What are you saying? Aren't I perfectly fine? How could I die?" When Lin Ray, who was replying to Gusi, heard the other party's words, he was immediately amused. He originally thought that they would greet each other. He didn't expect Gusi to say this. "Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. In these few decades, I couldn't find you, so I thought you." Seeing Lin Ray standing in front of him alive and well, Gusi hurriedly apologized as he recalled that his previous words were slightly offensive. What happened to you?" Seeing Gusi's emotional appearance, Lin Ray didn't know what to say for a moment. It's nothing. I was the one who let you down. Originally, I wanted second brother Huang to take care of you. I didn't expect that he would misunderstand my intentions. That's why there was such a big misunderstanding. In these few years, I have been looking for you every day. Not only me, I only found out about your situation after you disappeared for who knows how long. After that, I had all the miscellaneous disciples come out to look for you. Oh, so that's how it is. Hearing Gusi's words, the anger in Lin Ray's heart soared. But at the same time, hearing Gusi say that he had been looking for him for several decades, he couldn't help but feel a warmth in his heart. All right. This matter doesn't concern you. If you want to blame someone, blame second brother Huang. This has nothing to do with you." After saying that, Lin Ray smiled. He extended his hand and lightly patted Gusi's shoulder, causing the other party to relax. "Amen? I got it." Seeing Lin Ray's appearance, the guilt in Gusi's heart lessened a little. The feeling of being pressed down by a big rock was no longer there. "All right, let's go." Seeing that Gusi was better, Lin Ray said and flew towards the divine sect. Following closely behind, Gusi's eyes were tightly fixed on Lin Ray. It was as if she blinked, Lin Ray would disappear. That, senior brother, you keep looking at me like this. I feel very uncomfortable. Seeing that he was being stared at by a man, Lin Ray couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. One must know that he was a pure man. How could he endure this? All right, all right. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Gusi felt that it was a little inappropriate and immediately returned to normal. Oh, that's right. Brother Lin, why don't you come with me to watch the Tendo convention that is held once every million years? Suddenly, Gusi thought of the information she received before and asked Lin Ray, who was beside her, "What? Tendo convention?" Chapter 509. Yes, the Tendo conference. Seeing the confusion in Lin Ray's eyes, Gusi explained the Tendo conference to Lin Ray. Oh, so that's how it is. After hearing Gusi's explanation of the Tendo conference, Lin Ray understood. After thinking about it, he also wanted to go out, so he didn't reject her. Okay, I'll go. Just let me know when you leave. Just like that, the two of them quickly returned to the Divine Sect side by side. Looking at the Divine Sect's mountain gate, Lin Ray's eyes were filled with disdain. Although it was a sect that had been passed down for God knows how many years, Lin Ray felt that his Xuanzong sect paled in comparison. It wasn't just the strength of his disciples, but also his own innate ability. Even if he brought out the divine palace from the immortal world, he would be able to suppress all the sects in the immortal world. Okay, that's it. Looking at Gusi, Lin Ray didn't stay at the mountain gate. After saying goodbye to Gusi, they went their separate ways. Lin Ray flew towards the cave he had dug, while Gusi entered the divine sect without looking back. Lin Ray, who missed his family dearly, quickly arrived at the entrance of the cave. Using his divine sense, he sensed that the array was still the same as before. Instantly, Lin Ray felt much more at ease. Previously, before he returned, he was afraid that something might have happened here and that something might have happened to his brothers and wife. Now, Lin Ray was completely at ease. Then, the moment he sensed that there was no one around, Lin Ray rushed into the cave. Phew! Upon returning to this place, Lin Ray felt as though he had returned home. His tense body finally relaxed. TSK, I haven't seen them in so many years. I wonder how they're doing. As he spoke, Lin Ray looked towards a room Lu Ying was in and walked in. At this moment, Lin Ray, who had just entered the cave, saw Lu Ying sitting on a rock, cultivating. Lin Ray immediately walked over to Lu Ying's side and sat down quietly, admiring his wife's beauty. The Divine Sect discussion hall was where all the upper echelons met. Without the Divine Sect's sect master's order, even if you were an elder or a grand elder, you didn't have the qualifications. At this moment, Gusi, who had parted ways with Lin Ray, came over and knocked on the door a few times. Dong, dong, dong. At this moment, Gusi was extremely cautious, as if she was afraid that her life would be in danger if she wasn't careful. Come in. A deep and dignified voice rang out from the hall. Immediately, Gusi's body seemed to have been electrocuted when she heard the voice. Her entire body trembled, and her forehead was covered in cold sweat. She pushed open the door and walked in. Jia! The door of the Great Hall opened, and everyone in the Great Hall looked towards the door. Similarly, Gusi, who walked into the Great Hall, felt the gazes of the people around her, and immediately felt a little embarrassed. Dong! After closing the door, Gusi hurriedly walked up and apologized to everyone. I'm sorry. I had something to do just now. I'm sorry. Master, I'm late. Please punish me. After everyone was done apologizing, Gusi spoke to the only middle-aged man in the hall who was still seated. You still have a nerve to come? Tell me, how long has it been since I sent you a message? Ah, you only know how to look for that trash disciple all day long. Tell me, you're the dignified sovereign's disciple. What's the matter with you? That's right. Gusi, you've been looking for that disciple for dozens of years, right? Why are you so stubborn? It's not like there aren't any ferocious beasts in our divine Sect's territory. It's normal for a few people to die occasionally. Why are you so obsessed with that trash disciple? That's right. Look at what you've done to the divine Sect in these dozens of years. Immediately, the moment the man on the seat finished speaking, 2 or 3 middle-aged men looked over and spoke with dissatisfaction. Master, all the elders, this matter is already settled. This disciple has found that person. At least this period of time wasn't wasted. As soon as he said that, his words were shocking. Everyone revealed a look of astonishment. According to the information they received, the person Gu Si was looking for had disappeared for dozens of years. How did he appear now? Many questions surged in their minds. All right. Let's not talk about this matter for now. Seeing that everyone was puzzled over such a boring matter, the middle-aged man hurriedly shifted everyone's attention back to the important matter. Gu Si, I'm sure you already know why I called you here. The Tendo convention that is held once every 1,000,000 years is about to begin in the Heaven's Wall City. Therefore, I'll let Lu Yunhan lead the team. The few of you are all disciples within 100,000 years and are all Divine King Realm experts. According to the restrictions of the Tendo convention, you're the most suitable to go. Therefore, and I understand, Master, don't worry. This time, this disciple will definitely do well for you. I'll also let Divine Sect Master Lu Tianyang's name as the Divine Emperor resound throughout the Divine Realm. Before Divine Sect Master Lu Tianyang finished speaking, Gu Si hurriedly flattered him. Puffed. After hearing Gu Si's words, Lu Yunhan, who was standing next to him, couldn't help but burst out laughing. That's enough. Do you think I don't know what you're capable of? Although your strength is not bad in front of the 100 sects, among the disciples of the major sects, how many do you think you can defeat? You? Hearing Lu Yunhan's words, Gu Si's tone was choked. Her face was ashen, and she couldn't speak anymore. That's enough. Stop talking. It's such a good meeting, and you've ruined it just like that. Saying this, Lu Tianyang glared at Lu Yunhan and said in a gentle tone, That's enough. I see that you're becoming more and more lawless. When we go back, I'll tell your mother and ask her to discipline you. You're always so impudent. How dare you talk to your senior like that? After hearing Lu Tianyang's words, Lu Yunhan wanted to say something, but Lu Tianyang spoke again. All right, this matter is decided. Although you'll be leading the team, Elder Pang Long will follow you. He'll protect your safety. This Tendo convention is different from the past. Some people will do anything to become the #1 sect in the Divine Realm. So, the journey will be dangerous. You'll have to be careful. Yes, we'll definitely live up to your expectations. We'll definitely win first place. Master, Sect Master, please rest assured. Yes, Sect Master. I'll definitely protect them. At this moment, an old man standing next to Lu Tianyang quickly stood up and said to Lu Tianyang, all right. Since that's the case, let's disperse. Lu Yunhan and Gu Si, you two stay behind. After hearing Lu Tianyang's words, other than those who were asked to stay behind, everyone else tactfully left. At this moment, the Grand Hall was completely silent. There were no longer any spectators. You're really my good disciple and goddaughter. You can even quarrel in front of such a serious matter. I really have to hand it to you too. At this moment, Lu Tianyang, who was sitting on a chair, immediately stood up and said to them helplessly when he saw that everyone had left. Dad, look at him. He's already so old, but he still insists on being my senior. It's obvious that my cultivation is higher, but he still thinks that he's my senior. I think he should be calling me senior instead. As soon as Lu Tianyang spoke, Lu Yunhan's aggrieved voice was heard by the two of them. Instantly, the two of them looked at each other and walked out, leaving Lu Yunhan standing in the same spot with an aggrieved look on her face. Wait for me. However, before the two of them could reach the door, Lu Yunhan turned around and saw that her father and senior were already at the entrance of the Grand Hall. In response, Lu Yunhan was filled with rage as she bared her fangs and brandished her claws as she chased after them. Whoosh whoosh. Seeing this, Lu Tianyang and Gu Si released their cultivation and rushed out of the Grand Hall in the instant that Lu Yunhan was enraged. Time trickled by, and 5 days passed in the midst of everyone's busy lives. At this moment, in the cave, Lin Ray was still the same as before. He propped his face up with his hand and watched his wife, who was still cultivating. He never got tired of looking at her. Phew! Suddenly, at this moment, Lin Ray, who originally thought that Lu Ying would be cultivating for a long time, suddenly heard the sound of his wife's breathing. He lifted his head and saw that his wife's aura had been retracted into her body. It was obvious that Lu Ying had stopped cultivating. Lu Ying, who had stopped cultivating, slowly opened her eyes to see her husband, Lin Ray, whom she had been thinking about day and night. Lei Ji, when did you come back? Why didn't you let me know? Lu Ying suddenly shrieked. It was obvious how happy he was to see the person he missed so much. I saw that you were cultivating so hard, so I didn't want to disturb you. You said that we'd be leaving in a few days, so even if you couldn't do it, I would have woken you up. What, leaving? Hearing Lin Ray's words, Lu Ying looked at Lin Ray in confusion, wanting to ask. It's complicated to explain. Simply put, we felt that the place this time was very grand, and all the major sects in the realm of the gods took it seriously. So how could I, Lin Ray, miss out on such a lively event? As he spoke, the corners of Lin Li's lips curved upwards, revealing a sinister smile. Oh, okay. No matter where you go, I'll follow you. With that, Lu Ying stood up from the rock without another word, walked over to Lin Ray, and sat on Lin Ray's lap. Any man would have a reaction to this action, not to mention someone as beautiful as Lu Ying. If Lin Ray didn't do anything, then it would really mean that Lin Ray was useless. In the next moment, the entire cave was filled with spring sunshine. It was a joyous scene. For the next few days, Lin Ray kept Lu Ying company. Every day, he would leave early and return late, walking around the beautiful sceneries of the divine sect. During these few days, Lu Ying was smiling happily every day, looking extremely happy. Chapter 5:10. Over the past few days, Lin Li had woken up everyone who had been in closed-door meditation. The others were still all right, but the 35 Azura clansmen had improved in power over the past few decades. It was completely beyond Lin Li's expectations. Originally, he knew that their cultivation was sealed, but Lin Ray didn't expect them to break through the seal so quickly. When he saw the 35 Shura people, their cultivation was already at the peak of the Divine King realm. Some of them had even reached the Divine Emperor realm. Lin Ray was stunned when he saw this. To Lin Ray, this was undoubtedly the most powerful assistance. Lin Ray was very happy. It seemed that he could start the operation that he hadn't started before. Lin Ray also asked the little dragon about this. The little dragon only said that their cultivation wasn't limited to this, because they were in the immortal realm and they had been sealed. Now that they had returned to the divine realm and absorbed the divine chi of the divine realm, it was normal for their cultivation to recover a little. It told Lin Ray not to make a fuss about it. Lin Ray was very shocked. They had already recovered to the divine emperor realm, but the little dragon said that they had only recovered a little. Lin Ray was even more glad that he had found them. However, in the next few days, Lin Ray helped Nandi and Lin Tian break through to the divine realm, allowing them to truly become members of the divine realm. As for the divine tribulation, of course, Lin Ray couldn't do it himself, but the little dragon might not be able to do it. The little dragon asked Lin Ray to throw the people who were preparing to undergo the divine tribulation into the system. The final result would be the same, and there would be no danger to their lives. Moreover, they wouldn't be discovered by the outside world. Lin Ray was very happy about this. As for them, they all successfully entered the divine realm, including Lin Wanyu and the other four. After entering the divine realm, they were very happy. These few days, Lin Ray was very busy. He had to accompany his wife and take care of them. Regarding this, Lin Ray prayed that he would rather fight a demon beast for 3 days and 3 nights in the future. He didn't want to live like this anymore. Junior brother Lin. At this moment, Lin Ray was chatting with his wife in the cave when he heard her voice. Instantly, his face lit up with joy. He said goodbye to Lu Ying and walked out. Oh, senior brother Gu Si, why are you looking for me? The moment he walked out of the cave, he saw Gu Si looking around. She was simply too cute. HM? Junior brother Lin, Hearing Lin Ray's voice, Gu Si looked in front and saw Lin Ray walking out from Stonewall. Instantly, Gu Si was shocked. Just now, she didn't expect Lin Ray to be here. She used her divine sense to check, but didn't find anything strange about the Stonewall. Looking at Gu Si's shocked expression, Lin Ray's face lit up. He then pointed to the cave behind him and said, "Sigh. I had no choice. Back then, second brother Huang gave me a shabby straw hut here. I had no choice but to do it myself. However, in order to not let anyone know where I live, I set up an array outside." As he said that, Lin Ray shrugged and gave a look that said, "You know what I mean?" However, what he didn't know was that Lin Ray's words shocked Gu Si even more. One had to know that an array master was very important in the realm of the gods. Furthermore, even a deity king's divine sense couldn't see through the array on the stone wall. This showed how powerful Lin Ray's array skills were. Thinking of this, Gu Si bitterly smiled and said, "Junior brother Lin, I really can't see through you anymore. Not only can you kill people above your level, but you've also revealed your identity as an array master. I really don't know how many more names you have." As he said that, Gu Si's eyes were filled with envy. Similarly, he looked at Lin Ray with admiration and began to solicit, "You really don't want to join the divine sect and become an official disciple? You have to know that just based on your identity as an array master, you'll be able to be put in an important position in any sect." Looking at Gu Si's nervous expression, Lin Ray chuckled and rejected, "Forget it, I don't like to be restricted. Furthermore, I have my own troubles that I can't speak of, so I'm sorry." As he said that, Lin Ray's face was filled with apology. Lin Ray had already treated Gu Si as his friend. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said so much to him and wouldn't have let him know where he lived. "Sigh. All right." Seeing Lin Ray's firm reply, Gu Si regretfully shook his head and could only give up. "All right." Just then, Gu Si thought of the most important reason for his visit and said, "I was too busy talking about you just now. I wanted to tell you that the leader this time is Lu Yunhan." What? Lu Yunhan? He didn't expect to hear this name again. Furthermore, it was the person who was going to lead him to the Tendo convention. "You know her?" Seeing Lin Ray's surprised reaction, Gu Si was puzzled and had a lot of questions. I don't know her." "That's right. Senior brother, I won't use my real appearance when I go. Only you know about this. I don't want anyone else to know, including the leader, Lu Yunhan." As he said that, Lin Ray looked at Gu Si with a pleading expression. He believed that Gu Si would definitely agree. All right then." As expected, after hearing Lin Ray's words, although he was troubled for a moment, he still agreed in the end. "Since you don't want to use your real appearance, I won't force you. However, that junior sister of mine is the daughter of the sect master of the divine sect, Lu Tianyang. She's usually spoiled, so be careful and don't provoke her." "What?" Lin Ray was extremely shocked by this news. He didn't expect that the person he casually met would be the descendant of such a big shot. However, Lin Ray didn't want to be entangled with Lu Yunhan. So what if she was beautiful? It had nothing to do with him. All right. Since I've told you about this, we'll be leaving tomorrow morning. When the time comes, just wait at the mountain gate. I believe that junior sister will bring you along on my account." Got it. After speaking, Gu Si flew backwards. As for Lin Li, he remained where he was, watching until Gu Si's figure disappeared. Only then did he turn and return to the cave. At this moment, everyone was waiting for Lin Ray's instructions in the cave hall. You all heard it. This time, we're going to the Tendo convention, which is held once every 1,000,000 years. This time, we're not going for that. As for what we're going to do, I'll let you all know when the time comes. At this point, Lin Ray couldn't help but look at the 36 Azura clan members. Shwe 3, Shwe 5, Shwe 15, Shwe 31. The 4 of you will be my guards. With your divine emperors, I believe that ordinary people won't be able to discover you. Yes, we'll obey your orders." The 4 Azura clan members that were pointed out by Lin Ray said solemnly to Lin Ray, Not bad." With that, Lin Ray couldn't help but look at the other Azura clan members. His tone was very serious as he said, "As for the rest of you, I'll send you to a very good place. I believe that you'll be able to grow quickly there. However, I want 10 of you to go and protect Lu Ying, Nan Di, and Lin Tian. Do you understand? I'll leave this matter to you all." "Yes, we'll obey your orders." The moment they heard Lin Rei's words, the 10 Azura clan members who were supposed to protect Lu Ying and the other two walked out and stood behind the three of them. Their cultivation levels were infinitely close to the divine emperor realm. You all could go now." Looking at the remaining people, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. With a wave of his hand, the remaining 20 or so Azura clan members were all sent into the system by Lin Rei. He then placed them into the Chaos Array. Previously, Lin Rei had asked the little dragon whether it would be harmful for the Azura clan members to enter the array to absorb the Chaos Aura. After hearing the little dragon's answer, Lin Rei was very satisfied. That was why this scene happened. After doing all this, he looked at the remaining people, other than Bai Qi and Dianwei, who weren't related to him, who were still in the early stage of the true God realm. The others were either in the late stage of the divine weapon realm, godly king realm, or godly emperor realm. All right, you already know about this matter. You'll have to work hard for the next few days. With that, Lin Rei didn't give them a chance to speak and sent all of them into the system. However, they were separated from the Azura clan members because Lin Rei considered that they couldn't absorb the Chaos Aura. After doing all this, Lin Rei looked at the 4 people beside him. Lin Rei asked them to sit down and started chatting. Just like that, the night passed quickly. The 5 of them sat in the cave and talked. During this short period of time, Lin Rei imparted the Azura Spear technique to the 4 of them. After all, they were all Azura clan members, and the spiritual chi they used was different from Lin Rei's. Moreover, according to the little dragon, the Azura Spear technique was somewhat related to the Azura clan. Phew, let's go. There's nothing for us to stay here anymore. Lin Rei didn't have any feelings for this place. Of course, other than Gu Si. "Yes, young master." Everyone stood up, and at this moment, the 4 of them all retreated into the sky. Looking at the 4 of them, Lin Rei smiled and walked out of the cave. Looking at the cave behind him, Lin Rei casually waved his hand, and the foundation of the formation embedded in the ground was instantly collected by Lin Rei. Including the concealment formation that Lin Rei set up in the cave, they were all destroyed by Lin Rei. After everything was done, Lin Li took out a pill bottle from his bosom and took out a red pill. He swallowed it in one gulp. And then a strange phenomenon occurred. In the instant that Lin Li swallowed the pill, the muscles on his face began to twist and contort. His previously handsome face had now become so ugly that anyone who saw it would feel nauseous. Feeling the change, Lin Rei didn't care about his appearance. In any case, it was fine as long as he could hide his identity. After preparing, Lin Rei quickly arrived at the entrance of the mountain. From afar, he saw a figure walking back and forth, as if in a hurry. Chapter 511. Seeing this scene, Lin Li instantly felt awkward. It seemed that he had arrived too late. Then, he quickened his pace and rushed to the front door. "Aya, you're finally here." At this moment, Gu Si, who was pacing back and forth, saw an extremely ugly man. Gu Si didn't even think about it, and quickly went up to Lin Rei. You can recognize me?" Originally, he thought that Gu Si wouldn't recognize him after he changed his appearance. He didn't expect Gu Si to ask him a question as soon as he arrived. "Tisk, are you stupid? Everyone who was appointed to attend the Tendo competition is here. Tell me, who else could it be other than you? Anyway, I can't think of anyone else." Hearing Gu Si's analysis, Lin Rei instantly felt awkward. Then, in order to diffuse the awkwardness, Lin Rei quickly changed the topic. "Senior brother Gu Si, why aren't you getting up and leaving? You still have the nerve to say that. If we weren't waiting for you, we would have left long ago." At this moment, a mocking voice was heard. It was a man who was dressed extravagantly. The items hanging on his body were all good stuff. Seeing the man walking over, Lin Rei felt disgusted. At the same time, A murderous intent rose in his heart. It wasn't for anything else but the contempt and disdain in the man's eyes. "Oomph, Pangwong, what does this have to do with you? Hurry up and leave." Gu Si heard Pangwong's words and quickly went up to stop him. Puffed! Who would have thought that the moment Gu Si finished speaking, Lin Rei didn't care about his reputation and burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha! Pangwong, Pangwong, do you have someone called Lei Feng in your family?" Shoo! At this moment, Gu Si, who had been listening to Lin Rei's words, heard Lin Rei's filthy words and quickly went up to stop him. However, it was too late. At the same time, Gu Si couldn't help but look at the old man at the front of the group. At this moment, the old man's face was ashen and the veins on his forehead were bulging. He looked like he was about to attack. At this moment, the man named Pangwong was at a loss for words. He couldn't say a single thing that he wanted to say earlier. "All right, Lin Rei, let's go. You've gotten yourself into trouble this time." At this moment, Gu Si, who was beside him, hurriedly grabbed Lin Li's hand and walked over to Lu Yunhan. "Junior sister, I won't be going with you this time. Let's meet in Heaven's Wall City." Without waiting for Lu Yunhan's reply, she grabbed Lin Rei's hand and quickly left the mountain gate, flying into the distance. When the old man saw this scene, he was furious and could no longer suppress the killing intent in his heart. Just you wait. If I don't kill you, I swear I'm not human." However, for the sake of his own face, the old man forced himself to calm down after seeing Gu Si and the others disappear and return to his previous refined attitude. "Phew! All right, let's go. We have to set off quickly." Hearing the old man's words, Lu Yunhan quickly stopped her disciple and quickly flew towards Heaven's Wall City. At this moment, in a cold mountain forest in the Divine Sect, Gu Si and Lin Rei were hiding in a tree. This frightening scene left Lin Rei puzzled. What's wrong? What's wrong? Do you know that Pangwong's grandfather is an elder of the Divine Sect and has the cultivation of a monarch god? Furthermore, the old man in front is Pangwong's grandfather. Tell me, did you just escape from death? What? Hearing Gu Si's words, Lin Rei's forehead broke out in cold sweat. He was glad that he had escaped. If they were to fight now, he would definitely be the one to die. At this thought, Lin Rei looked at Gu Si with gratitude and said, "Thank you so much. If not for you, I would have been a corpse by now." Lin Rei sincerely wanted to thank Gu Si, not only for the previous incident, but more importantly, if he were to fall out with Gu Si now, he wouldn't be able to complete his mission. "Sigh. All right, it's nothing. You have to be careful in the future. Pangwong's grandfather, Pang Long, is very vengeful." As she spoke, Gu Si released her divine sense and teleported everything within 100 miles into Gu Si's mind. "All right, it's fine. Let's go." Seeing that there was no danger in the surroundings, Gu Si hurriedly brought Lin Rei in another direction. This way, they wouldn't meet Pang Long and could travel freely. He didn't refuse and immediately followed Gu Si towards Heaven's Wall City. Right now, in the air, the 4 Azura clansmen were following Lin Li closely. The realm of the gods. This was the first time that Lin Rei had entered the realm of the gods in name. Although he had joined the Divine Sect, he had never seen the realm of the 9 continents. The two went on a sightseeing tour. Whenever they saw beautiful places under Lin Li's constant persuasion, in the end, Gu Si would agree to stay and play for a few days. At the same time, every time they passed a city, Lin Li's drinking habit would manifest itself. However, during this period of time, Gu Si, who had never drunk before, became a drinker under Lin Rei's guidance. Lin Rei also realized that Gu Si was the type of person who was cold on the outside but passionate on the inside. As long as he drank until he was drunk, the outcome would be obvious. All kinds of bragging would be exaggerated by him. Even Lin Li couldn't help but have the urge to go up and beat her up. However, after Gu Si found out about this problem of hers, she still acted the same as before, refusing to drink. In the end, if Lin Li wasn't careful and didn't keep an eye on her, she would become a drunkard who went around bragging and causing trouble for Lin Li. Along the way, Lin Li felt quite helpless. But fortunately, whenever they encountered any rare beasts, they would go kill them and roast them for dinner. Or if they saw any rare treasures, they would be used as seasoning for the roasted meat. In the end, the roasted meat would become treasured medicine for Lin Rei and Gu Si to increase their strength. The two of them continued their journey as usual. After flying for a few days, they saw some demonic beast activity in a mountain forest. Immediately, Lin Rei's appetite was triggered. Gu Si, look below. Before Lin Rei could finish, Gu Si rolled his eyes at Lin Rei and said, "Let's go. Wait for me. I'll come find you when I'm done." As soon as he finished speaking, he disappeared, leaving behind only his voice for Linley to hear. "Hee, you really know how to talk." Looking at Gu Si, who had disappeared, Lin Rei could only chuckle. Then, he found an open space and took out a bottle of wine that he had collected in Aqua Blue Planet. Bang! A bottle of 1982 red wine was opened by Linley very rudely. Gulp, gulp. After a few mouthfuls, he felt satisfied. Then, he looked into the distance, and his eyes were filled with longing. Sigh, I wonder how Mother is now. I wonder if Yun, or has reached the late immortal venerable realm. Will he reach the divine world? With a loud bang, Lin Rei, who was feeling sentimental and longing for his mother, suddenly heard a loud bang. In an instant, all his longing for his mother was destroyed by the loud bang. Damn! Looking at the demonic beast in front of him, he knew that Gu Si must have returned. Sure enough, not long after, a figure appeared in front of him. His body was covered in blood, and there was a scratch on his arm. Huh, you? After discovering that Gu Si was injured, he took out a healing pill from his ring and passed it to him. This is a pill that I bought in the immortal world. Although it is in the immortal world, it is still useful for such a small injury. During this period of time, the two of them had developed a great rapport. Looking at the pill in Lin Rei's hand, Gu Si did not say much. He took it and put it in his mouth. As soon as the pill entered his mouth, a majestic energy filled his wound. At this moment, the wound miraculously healed instantly. All right, the medicinal properties of this pill are still okay. As for the remaining medicinal properties that have not been used up, just seal them up. Having said that, Lin Rei moved instantly. After poking Gu Si's body a few times with his sword finger, he returned to his original spot with a smile. Gu Si was stunned by such a magical scene. He knew that the medicinal properties of a healing wound were very small, and the rest of the medicinal properties would dissipate. However, he did not know that the medicinal properties could be stored in his body. I really can't see through you. I really don't know how many things you have that I don't know. You even know this method. Hearing Gu Si's praise, Lin Rei said indifferently, "Sigh, I have no choice. It's all because of that master of mine. He used his death to force me to learn. I have no choice but to learn it reluctantly." What? Reluctantly? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Gu Si raised his eyebrows and said while rolling his eyes at Lin Rei. However, at this moment, Xiaolong, who was in the system, was so infuriated by Linley's words that he was about to die. "Yeah, that little bastard. You're still pretending to be obedient after taking advantage of me. Really, just you wait. When you beg me again, you will suffer." All right, let's not talk about it. Knowing that he had gone overboard with his boasting, Lin Rei immediately chose to stop before going too far. All right. Just like that, the two of them fell silent. However, at this moment, Gu Si's gaze was fixed on the red wine in Lin Rei's hand. His throat kept moving. You. How could Lin Rei not see Gu Si's strange behavior? However, when he thought of Gu Si's appearance when he was drunk, Lin Rei could not help but shudder. However, due to Gu Si's pleading gaze, in the end, Lin Rei gritted his teeth and stomped his feet. He took out a bottle of wine from his ring and directly handed it to Gu Si. You, drink sparingly." Although there was Lin Rei's warning, Gu Si did not know if he would listen after drinking. Gulp, gulp, gulp. After handing the wine to Gu Si Hong, Lin Rei once again lowered his head and began to eat the meat. However, at this moment, the sound of gulping was heard. Suddenly, Lin Rei's face sank. Chapter 512. F***CK. In an instant, Lin Ray threw down the things in his hands and rushed to Gu Si's side. He grabbed the wine bottle in her hand and wanted to snatch it away, but F***CK. Brother, are you playing with me? Right now, the bottle of wine, which Linley had seized, was completely empty. Not a single drop of wine had been left. It had been completely emptied, and all that was left was to lick the bottle. Seeing this, Linley helplessly returned to his seat. F***CK. If I had known, I wouldn't have given you the wine, Sai. Sighing, Linley picked up another piece of demonic beast meat and began to eat it. Beside him, Gu Si drank another bottle of red wine and then fell asleep on the ground in a drunken state. Today, Lin Ray was a little curious. Not only did Gu Si not cause trouble, she was especially quiet. Looking at the sleeping Gu Si, Lin Ray didn't pay any more attention to her. After taking out the seasoning for the roasted meat from his ring, he began to cook seriously. Instantly, the fragrant aroma of the seasoned meat wafted out, and the surrounding pairs of green and red eyes stared intently at Linley. Looking at them, Lin Ray ignored them. At this moment, Blood 15, who had been following Lin Ray, appeared and silently killed all the demonic beasts around them. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was inexplicably happy and didn't think too much about it. Soon, the demonic beast meat became a delicacy under Lin Ray's roasting. Gulp! Looking at the fragrant beast meat, Lin Ray couldn't wait to tear off the leg of the demonic beast and began to eat. As for Gu Si, Lin Ray didn't wake her up because Lin Ray wasn't sure what she would be like when she woke up. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Just as Linley was enjoying his meal, several sounds of something piercing through the air could be heard. Linley didn't pay them any attention, continuing to gobble down his wine and meat. Master, this thing smells so good. At this moment, 4 figures appeared behind Lin Ray. When they saw the beast meat in front of Lin Ray, they all had drooling looks on their faces. Although they tried to force themselves to remain calm, their throats gave them away. Shut up. The only one among them looked at his disciple's useless appearance and immediately turned his head to reprimand him. Oh, when the man heard this, he immediately fell silent. It was not good for him to say anything. Lin Ray, who had been listening to the commotion behind him, turned around with a sneer on his face and said, "What's the point of you coming here uninvited?" There was an unwritten rule in the cultivation world, which was that as long as there were people other than the people they knew, other people who didn't know them would want to enter their place. Otherwise, without the master's permission, they were not allowed to interfere. However, for the uninvited person behind him, he had already violated this rule. Who do you think you are? How dare you tell us what to do? Just as Lin Ray finished speaking, one of the young men, who had some authority, spoke up and looked down on Lin Ray. That's right. Who do you think you are? We're here to give you face. Seeing how shameless they were, Lin Ray's killing intent rushed out at this moment. Give me face. My face is very precious. You're not worthy. Get lost. Lin Ray shouted with the cultivation of a peak, advanced divine weapon. His voice was so loud that everyone within 100 miles could hear him. What's wrong? What's wrong? Lin Ray's voice was so loud that Gu Si, who was drunk, was woken up. You can continue sleeping. It's just a few bedbugs. Seeing that Gu Si was awake, Lin Ray was afraid that he would go crazy again. Therefore, Lin Ray quickly comforted him. All right, stop fooling around. He's already sober. He knew that Lin Ray was worried and explained. As he spoke, Gu Si came to Lin Ray's side and raised his head to look at the 4 people. Who are you? How dare you be so disrespectful to the people of Archaean Sect? Looking at the 4 people, Gu Si directly mentioned Archaean Sect. This was because when he first saw the old man, he knew that he wasn't a match for him. Oh, so it's the younger generation of Archaean Sect. Since you're from Archaean Sect, come here quickly. We're taking over this place. Instantly, as soon as these words were spoken, the atmosphere became tense. Everyone fell silent. Gu Si turned her head to look at Linley, troubled. She wanted to ask him what she should do. Taking over? Who do you think you are? Archaean Sect is a top sect in Godworld. You. Ha! Just as Linley was about to finish speaking, a wanton laugh came from the mouth of the young man opposite him. His eyes were filled with disdain. Archaean Sect, ha! My Chinquin Sect doesn't fear you at all. Boom. The moment he heard the words Chinquin Sect, Lin Ray's mind went blank. The killing intent in his heart couldn't help but burst out his body. The appearance of this killing intent was too strange. The old man didn't know why this young man was so angry. However, at this moment, he sensed a dangerous aura. This phenomenon hadn't happened for a long time. However, the next time it happened, it was from a divine weapon junior. Ha! A devilish laugh. His voice was filled with malice. At this moment, Linley's face was twisted with hatred. Chinquin Sect, Chinquin Sect, I originally didn't want to touch you. Since you're courting death, don't blame me. Bang! The primal chaos dragon spear appeared. The tip of the spear shone with a cold light. The surrounding temperature started to drop because of Lin Ray's killing intent. You? When the old man heard Lin Ray's voice, his heart trembled. From his words, he could tell that the killing intent was because of the name Chinquin Sect. At this moment, the young man's murderous gaze was because they were from Chinquin Sect. At this point, the old man finally understood. How dare an ant like you compete with the sun and moon? Why don't you take a look at your cultivation level? How dare you call yourself me in front of me? You're courting death. At this moment, the old man was enraged. Although he didn't know what kind of grudge this young man had with Chinquin Sect, he knew that he couldn't let him live. If he did, he would definitely be a threat in the future. Die. That depends on who it is. Smoke filled the air, and the battle was about to start. At this moment, Lin Ray made the first move. The primal chaos dragon spear in his hand charged towards the old man. At the same time, the martial god activated his stratagem. This was the first time he used it. Instantly, a strange energy gathered the energy in the surrounding space and started to squeeze towards the old man. What? The power of space? Feeling that the energy on the wall was able to gather the energy of space, the old man was surprised. I must get my hands on something like this. Otherwise, thinking about it, the old man's eyes were filled with greed. Seeing the spear about to reach him, the old man moved. With a swoosh, just as Lin Ray's spear was about to pierce through the old man's body, the old man disappeared mysteriously. After all, there was only one place. Instantly, Lin Ray felt that something was wrong. Indeed, the aura of death was coming from behind him. If you want to die, you just won. Furthermore, there are many people who want me to die. However, they're all dead now. At the moment of danger, Lin Ray turned around and activated his stratagem of the martial god once again. This time, Lin Ray increased his cultivation level. Instantly, the surrounding space vibrated and the unstable chi of God squeezed even harder. Heck, come on. The more you use this skill, the more I like it. However, you'll die even faster. At this moment, the old man's desire to obtain Lin Ray's skill grew stronger as he looked at it. Is that so? Hearing the old man's words, Lin Ray went to a distance and kept his Chaos Dragon Spear. He stood there and looked at the old man fearlessly. A strange and evil smile appeared on his face. Looking at Lin Ray, the old man felt that something was wrong. However, when he thought of the mysterious skill, he ignored it. Bam! Just as the old man was about to reach Lin Ray, a foot appeared in front of him. The old man was caught off guard and was kicked in the body. A terrifying energy spread out, and the old man's body flew backward uncontrollably. How could this be? The old man, who had been sent flying, stared forward in astonishment. For men dressed in black had appeared, each of them emanating a murderous aura. Their faces were solemn as they stood guard by Linley's side. What? When this scene appeared, not only the old man sighed, but even Gu Si was stunned. Although he didn't know who these four people were, he could see that they were protecting Lin Ray. Thinking of this, Gu Si felt relieved. At the same time, a feeling of curiosity rose in his heart. How dare you be powerless against my young master? Only death can pay for your sins. Right at this moment, Blood 15, surrounded by a murderous aura, spoke in a cold voice to everyone present, save for Goosey. As soon as he finished speaking, the four of them moved. Blood 15 charged towards the old man, while the remaining three charged towards the three people who had come with the old man and attacked them. Wait, we're from Chinquin Sect. We're from Chinquin Sect. At this moment, the old man felt the aura of death. In order to not die, he wanted to grab onto the last straw. In the end, he didn't know that it was the grass that would take his life. Chinquin Sect, huh? This sovereign doesn't care. This sovereign dared to destroy the Chinquin Sect in the immortal world. This sovereign will go. Don't worry. This sovereign will let the Chinquin Sect in the immortal world meet them. What? Immortal world? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the old man was stunned. He didn't expect to hit an iron plate today. He also didn't expect the Chinquin Sect in the immortal world to be destroyed. Kacha! Blood 15, who received Lin Ray's order, didn't hesitate. The moment he arrived in front of the old man, he grabbed the old man's neck with one hand and squeezed, crushing the old man's Adam's apple. At the same time, his other hand smashed towards the old man's Dan Palace. Chapter 513. Bam! Ah! The Chinquin Sect cultivator screamed under Blood 15's attack. His face twisted as he glared hatefully at Lin Ray. He roared madly at Lin Ray. You wait. My Chinquin Sect won't let you go. So what if you destroy all the sects in the immortal realm? Just you wait. My Chinquin Sect will come for revenge. Bam! At this moment, Blood 15 had already crippled the old man's soul and cultivation, but the old man's words had completely enraged Blood 15. Instantly, before Linley could say anything, Blood 15 smashed the crippled old man into pieces with a single palm strike, killing him to the point where he couldn't be any more dead. There's only one result for threatening my young master. Blood 15 didn't pay any more attention to the old man's corpse, which was a mixture of minced meat and blood. Instead, he obediently returned to Linley's side. Well done, but don't be so reckless next time. We're outsiders after all, and don't know much about their strength. I'll teach you a spell called the soul-searching spell. Remember, before you kill someone, you must squeeze all the information out of them. Yes, young master. Blood 15, standing behind Linley, hurriedly nodded upon hearing Linley's words. At that moment, Goosey, who had been standing to the side in a daze, was completely dumbfounded by this scene. He really couldn't understand what was happening. Even more so, he couldn't understand why Linley, a cultivator who had just ascended to the deity realm, would have so many cultivators by his side and even address him as young master. What was even more unimaginable was that just hearing the name of the Chinquin Sect was enough to start a massacre. Just how much hatred did he have for the Chinquin Sect, and that Chinquin Sect in the immortal realm? Everything that happened just now would become an unforgettable memory for Goosey. Bam! Just as Goosey was in a daze, two muffled sounds rang out and instantly pulled him back to reality. He saw that in front of Linley, there were two miserable figures. Their faces were filled with terror and fear. In fact, the two of them were so frightened by Linley that they lost control of their bladder and were unable to control themselves. I beg you, please let us go. Senior, we didn't know any better before, please. When the three saw Lin Ray, they hurriedly got up from the ground and kowtowed, begging Lin Ray to let them go. But just as they were speaking, the silent Lin Ray spoke. Watch, I'll impart the knowledge to your minds. Remember, don't be careless. As he spoke, Linley began to move. His left hand quickly stretched out, forming a series of mysterious hand seals in midair. In the end, a surge of marvelous, yet astonishing energy suddenly appeared, slapping directly onto the head of one of the three men. Memories that didn't belong to him flowed into his mind. The moment the memories entered his mind, Lin Ray used his mental energy to envelop them. He began to search for useful things in the memories. He wouldn't have known if he didn't search, but the moment he did, Lin Ray was shocked. He didn't expect this man who was supposed to search his soul would do so many despicable things. He thought about raping young girls, robbing people, killing people for their belongings, swindling people. There was nothing he hadn't done before. However, even though there were so many memories that Linley felt disdainful of and even disdainful of, they still had some value. For example, the number of Chinquin Sect disciples participating in the Heavenly Tao Conference and their cultivation levels. At this moment, there were a total of 52 people going to the Tendo Conference. The leader of the group was a Chinquin Sect elder who was at least a monarch immortal. The rest were either divine ancestors or godly emperors. As for the 30-odd people going to the Tendo Conference, their cultivation levels were about the same as Gu Si's. They were either godly kings or godly generals. Seeing such a huge lineup from the Chinquin Sect, Lin Ray couldn't help but frown. Although this was good news for the divine sect, it was bad news for Lin Ray. With his current strength, he wasn't strong enough to fight against a godly monarch immortal. As for the rest, he would have to depend on the 20-odd Shura tribesmen who were absorbing the chaotic energy. Hopefully, they would be able to recover to divine ancestors or godly emperors. Only then would he have the ability to take revenge. After seeing all the memories he had plundered, Linley erased all of them from his mind. Linley couldn't be bothered to keep those memories. After which, he once again used his hand seals to search the souls of the other two. In the end, the results were the same. Linley then gave up. Although he didn't know if the Heaven and Earth sect had any hidden powers, it wasn't important anymore. As for those three who had been soul-scoured by Linley, they had long since become idiots. All of their memories had been wiped clean by Linley. Aside from a bit of instinct, there was nothing else. As for their intelligence, it had become zero. They weren't even as intelligent as a newborn child. Did you see it clearly? Linley came back to his senses and asked the four Shura behind him. Yes, we understood it. Thank you, young master, for teaching us this technique. Hearing their words, Lin Ray nodded his head and said, Go. There is no danger here. As for the three of them, you can deal with them as you see fit. Remember, do it cleanly. Don't leave any evidence behind. Do you understand? Although Lin Ray wasn't afraid of the Chinquin sect, he didn't want them to discover him so quickly. Lin Ray could only do this. Yes, we will take our leave. Blood 15 and the other 3 Shura tribesmen carried the 3 Chinquin sect members and disappeared from Lin Ray's sight. Seeing them leave, Lin Ray looked at them gratefully. At the same time, Lin Ray didn't feel any pity for the 3 of them. They didn't deserve it. Although they claimed to be righteous disciples, the things they did were so despicable. Killing them would be considered a light punishment. After everything was over, Linley turned to look at Gu Si, who had been in a daze the entire time. The smile on his face grew even wider. Haha, don't you recognize me? Seeing the stunned look in Gu Si's eyes, Linley knew what he was thinking. He immediately teased him. No. Hearing Linley's words, Gu Si's voice was filled with nervousness. In fact, it could even be said that she was cautious. In the past, she hadn't known that Linley had so many experts protecting him. Now that she knew, she would follow the same rules. AI, you don't have to be like this, just be like before. Also, I have to ask you, whatever you see today, you must remember not to tell anyone, because this is not only related to me, but also the lives of my brothers. At this point, Lin Ray couldn't help but warn, of course, if you tell anyone about what happened today, you can try. Try and see if I have the strength to kill you. At this moment, a murderous aura burst forth and pressed down on Gu Si. And don't worry, Gu Si, will definitely not tell anyone about what happened today. Hearing Gu Si's words, Lin Ray immediately retracted his killing intent. He still had a smile on his face. He still believed in Gu Si's character. Otherwise, he wouldn't have exposed so much in front of him. All right, hurry up and eat. Once you're done, let's hurry up and leave. With that, Lin Ray sat back in his original spot and began to gnaw on the big bone as if nothing had happened. Gu Si admired Lin Ray for this. He couldn't do it. When he thought of the old man who was smashed by the expert, he couldn't eat anymore. Just like this, a small episode ruined the originally good atmosphere. However, Lin Ray wasn't worried. Soon, Lin Ray ate more than half of the demonic beast meat. Seeing that Gu Si didn't eat, Lin Ray didn't waste it. He directly threw the other half of the demonic beast meat into the system and handed it over to Shatian. After doing all this, Lin Ray stood up and said to Gu Si, "Let's go, senior brother. We should hurry up." "Oh, okay." Gu Si, who looked a little uncomfortable, hurriedly agreed the moment he heard Lin Ray's words. Then, he flew towards the direction of Heaven's Wall City. Hee. Looking at Gu Si's appearance, Lin Ray didn't say anything. Then, he released his cultivation and instantly chased after Gu Si. But before Linley left, he saw the shattered pieces of flesh and blood. Linley didn't let them go. Instantly, he released his illusory soul blood flames, burning away all of the blood, leaving nothing behind. This was because Lin Ray knew that there was nothing that could withstand the illusory spirit blood fire. Just like this, the two of them didn't stop. They directly rushed to their destination, Heaven's Wall City in Dan Province. At this moment, outside Heaven's Wall City, Lin Ray was a little dazed as he looked at the majestic city that towered into the clouds. This kind of city didn't exist in the immortal world. It was also the first time he saw it in the divine world. Even the ancient city in the immortal world wasn't as magnificent as this. Yes, that's right. This is the core of Danzhou. Not only is this the core of Danzhou, but it's also the headquarters of the Alchemy Guild. There are only things you can't think of here, but there's nothing you can't buy here. Moreover, there's not only the Alchemy Guild, but also the Formation Guild, the Armor Guild, and a few big trading companies. The forces here are intricate and complicated, and it's hard to explain. Oh, listening to Gu Si's introduction of the interior of Heaven's Wall City, Lin Ray was suddenly curious. He couldn't imagine what kind of illusion this was. Logically speaking, with so many forces, there would be conflicts of interest. It was impossible that there wouldn't be any disputes. Okay, let's go. Looking at Lin Ray's puzzled look, Gu Si smiled and said, "I don't know if Junior's sister and the others have arrived. You should be careful where we go later." What if Pang Long, hearing Gu Si's worry, Lin Ray quickly said, "Hee, you don't have to worry. However, I won't meet up with you guys." Chapter 514. What? You don't want to follow us? Gu Si exclaimed when he heard Lin Ray's words. He didn't expect Lin Ray to make such a decision. However, he immediately understood. Pang Long was already troublesome enough. Sigh, all right. He knew that Linley wouldn't listen to his advice. Gu Si rummaged through her clothes and took out a storage bag. She handed it to Linley and said, "Here's a storage bag. Although I know you might not need it, I still have to give it to you. Perhaps it will help you in the future." Not refusing, Linley accepted the bag of holding, then placed it into his storage ring. "All right, since you don't want to follow me, let's go our separate ways here. Perhaps it will be beneficial to you." After saying this, without waiting for Linley's reply, Gu Si headed towards Heaven's Wall City by herself. Lin Ray chuckled as he looked at Gu Si's back. Then, the muscles on his face began to contort, and his original appearance was revealed. Phew! He let out a long sigh and walked towards the city gate of Heaven's Wall City. At this moment, many people had already arrived. Lin Ray didn't have to guess to know that they were all disciples of various clans or sections. Looking at the group of people, Linley didn't pay any attention to them. Instead, he went about his own business. Soon, Linley arrived at the city gate tower. Raising his head, he looked up at the towering city, which gave Linley a sense of security. Hey, I'm talking to you. If you want to enter, hurry up and enter. Don't disturb others. Do you hear me? At this moment, just as Lin Ray was enjoying Heaven's Wall City, a discordant and coarse voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Ray's previous mood disappeared. Lowering his head, he saw that the gatekeeper was glaring at him angrily. Instantly, Linley came back to his senses and hurriedly walked forward, preparing to enter the impregnable barrier. But at that moment, the gatekeeper hurriedly stopped him. Hey, are you kidding me? 10 silver coins for entering the city, and 3 gold coins for staying inside. What? Hearing the gatekeeper's words, Linley didn't quite understand. Although Linley understood what the gatekeeper meant on the surface, he didn't have any silver or gold coins. He only had spirit stones. What? Do you have money? If you don't have money, don't enter. Don't pretend to be an ignorant young man. Lin Ray was stunned when he heard the gatekeeper's words. He turned to look at the other people who entered the city. Everyone took out 10 silver coins and 3 gold coins. Seeing this, Lin Ray felt helpless. F***CK, Goosey, you actually... Just when Lin Ray wanted to curse Goosey in his heart, he suddenly remembered that Goosey had given him a storage bag. He hurriedly took it out and used his divine sense to check it. Oh, you really do have money. At this moment, there were less than 50 gold coins in the storage bag. He had more than 10,000 silver coins. Seeing this, Lin Ray hurriedly took out 10 silver coins and 3 gold coins and handed them to the gatekeeper. Here, you should have said so earlier. If you had taken it out earlier, I would have let you in. Why bother staying here for so long? Seeing the entrance fee in Lin Ray's hand, the gatekeeper's expression changed. His disdain for Lin Ray because he didn't have money turned into a smile because he had money. Looking at the capricious gatekeeper, Lin Ray hurriedly nodded with a smile and walked into the Heaven's Wall City. Hey, come. Look at the inner core of the divine emperor demonic beast, the heavenly cloud tiger. Come. Look at the gem pill refined by an emperor-level alchemist master. Damn! After entering the Heaven's Wall City, Lin Ray truly felt what it meant to be the core of a province. The prosperity here was something that Lin Ray had never imagined. Looking at the hawkers on both sides of the aisle, Lin Ray couldn't help but look at the one selling the inner core of the heavenly cloud tiger. Boss, how much are you selling this inner core for? How many spirit stones can you... Wait. Just when Lin Ray was about to ask how many spirit stones he could buy it, the boss's expression darkened, and he said unhappily, I say, friend, are you joking with me? Spirit stones? Do you think that kind of thing can be exchanged for my inner core? Hearing the boss's words and combining it with the previous phenomenon, Lin Ray realized that in the realm of the gods, spirit stones were not the currency at all. The real currency was silver coins, gold coins, and the like. Thinking of this, Lin Ray's hair stood on end. Sigh, if I had known, I would have read all the general knowledge about the realm of the gods when I first came here. Now, I only have a few coins in my pocket. In the future, I will. Thinking that he would have to stay here for a long time, Lin Ray's hair stood on end. Boss, I don't want it anymore. In order to save money, Lin Ray could only let go of the item in front of him. After saying that, he walked into the depths of the Heaven's Wall City. Along the way, Lin Ray saw many things that moved his heart. However, when he thought that he had no money on him, Lin Ray felt helpless. Thinking back, he used to spend money like it was water. Looking at the current situation, the difference was not small at all. Forget it, let's find a trading company and buy an introduction to the realm of the gods first. Thinking of this, Lin Ray observed the surrounding shops. Just like this, he walked and walked. Lin Ray didn't know how long he had walked. Finally, Lin Ray stopped in front of a trading company called Carefree Pavilion. There should be something I want here. Looking at the huge trading company in front of him, Lin Ray couldn't help but mutter to himself. Bah. Benefactor, don't worry, there's nothing you can't buy in Carefree Pavilion. Suddenly, a voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Ray turned around vigilantly and saw a bald monk wearing a silly robe standing there. Not only that, Lin Ray could feel a powerful Buddhist power coming from the monk's body. From this, Lin Ray could determine that he was not a match for this person in front of him. Young benefactor doesn't need to be like this. This poor monk just happened to pass by and coincidentally heard your words. Coincidentally, this poor monk knows some things about Carefree Pavilion, so he just happened to speak. Looking at the monk in front of him, Lin Ray's hair stood on end. After hearing so many coincidences, he finally concluded that there was something he wanted in his heart. Many thanks, great master. I will take my leave. In order to avoid this chatterbox, Linley hurriedly entered the carefree pavilion. Hee, this person in front of me is fated to be with me. It seems this poor monk has something to do next. After Lin Ray left, the monk muttered to himself. Of course, if Lin Ray heard this, he would definitely curse out 8 generations of the monk's ancestors. Inside Carefree Pavilion, Lin Ray had just entered. After seeing the appearance and format of Carefree Pavilion, Lin Ray was stunned. Of course, Lin Ray wasn't someone who hadn't seen the world. He was only stunned for a moment and recovered in less than 2 breaths. Dear customer, may I ask what you would like to see? At this moment, a staff member of Carefree Pavilion came up to him and asked, Give me an introduction about the realm of the gods. Give me an introduction about my daily life. Before Lin Ray could finish his words, the staff member quickly said, Okay. After seeing the staff member leave, Lin Ray had nothing to do and started to look around. Lin Ray discovered that everything here was of high quality. Even if there were some that were inferior, they weren't too bad. It was different from all the other shops he had seen before. Lin Ray continued to look around. At first, he was on the first floor, but as Lin Ray's interest grew, he went to the second floor, the third floor, and finally the fourth floor. 2 divine king experts stretched out their hands and stopped him. Dear customer, outsiders are not allowed to enter this place. If anyone with a VIP card of Carefree Pavilion dares to take a step outside, they will be killed without mercy. Lin Ray wanted to retort, but he didn't know the situation in front of him. Lin Ray gave up. Blood 15 and the other 3 who had been following Lin Ray wanted to make a move when they heard someone speaking rudely to Lin Ray. In the end, they were all stopped by Lin Ray. All right. Lin Ray nodded at the people blocking his way and walked down the stairs. In the end, he returned to the first floor. Dear customer, where did you go? It took me a long time to find you. The moment Lin Ray returned to the first floor, the staff member who went to get the item he wanted hurriedly came to Lin Ray's side and asked, Hi, I want to look around. Lin Ray looked at the jade slip on the staff member's phone and asked, What's the price of this? 3 gold coins. Lin Ray didn't hesitate when he heard the price. He took out 3 gold coins from his storage pouch and handed it to the staff member before preparing to leave. Dear customer, please wait. Just as Lin Ray stepped out of the door, the staff member's voice came from behind. Immediately, Lin Ray turned around in confusion, wanting to ask what the staff member meant. Dear customer, please don't misunderstand. I'm just trying to be busy. In a month, it will be our store's once-in-a-millennium auction. I don't know if you're interested. If you are, I'll give you one of these. As he spoke, the attendant took out an invitation card with the words Carefree Pavilion written on it from his sleeve and handed it to Linley. Looking at the invitation card in front of him, Lin Ray hesitated for a moment, but in the end he accepted it and said, Okay, I'll be back then. After speaking, Linley left. This time, he didn't look back. At this moment, just as Linley was about to leave, a woman walked out. She stared curiously at Linley's back as she murmured to herself, That's right. What kind of person are you? Why do you give me such a mysterious feeling? However, Lin Ray wasn't aware of all of this. At this moment, the only thing he wanted to do was to find a place to stay and familiarize himself with the information on the jade slip in his hand. He didn't want the previous incident to happen again. On the other hand, the instant Gu Si entered the Heaven's Wall City, she found Lu Yunhan's group and joined up with her own group. Chapter 515. Nephew Gu Si, where's the person who was with you? Where did he go? At this moment, in the Yun Lion in Heaven's Wall City, after Gu Si and Lu Yunhan met up, Pang Long saw that one person was missing and immediately asked. Gu Si was very clear about Pang Long's question. He wasn't asking out of concern for his disciple, but because Lin Ray had made his grandson Pang Guang lose face and also indirectly scolded him. Therefore, when he didn't see Lin Ray return with him, he became anxious. At this moment, after Pang Long's question, everyone's gaze shifted to Gu Si. They were also very curious. 2 people left, but only one came back. Seeing everyone's gaze and Pang Long's cold gaze, Gu Si calmly replied, Haha, Elder Pang, it's like this. My friend had something to do, so he left first. Furthermore, he said that he won't be with us in the future, so, at this point, Gu Si didn't continue, because he knew that even if he didn't say it, everyone would understand what he meant. What? A cry of surprise rang out. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned over, only to see Pang Long angrily rebuking and coldly saying, Humph. As a disciple of Divine Sect, he has no sense of organization. Furthermore, did he tell me he actually, people like him should be kicked out of Divine Sect. At least this way, he won't ruin Divine Sect's reputation. Yes, yes, yes. Just like that, Pang Long's words caused everyone to follow suit. In their eyes, Pang Long was an elder of the sect. As long as they curried favor with him, they would have an easier time in the sect in the future. However, Gu Si didn't want to. When he thought of the strength and influence Lin Rei had displayed, he could guess what Lin Rei's future path would be. Elder Pang, you can't say that. Although my friend's name is in Divine Sect, he's only a trash disciple. According to what you said before, trash disciples are the lowest level in Divine Sect and are dispensable. Their itinerary doesn't need to be reported, nor does it need to be reported to the higher-ups. Why? Are you slapping your own face now? You. Hearing those words, Pang Long's face turned ashen. He wanted to kill him, but he had to consider that he was the disciple of the Divine Sect's sect master, and that there was also the Divine Sect's little princess beside him. Thus, he didn't dare to act out. This, all right. Since you're so busy, then forget it. Since Li Rang had already said so much, Pang Long could only grit his teeth and swallow his words. All right, since you're already in Heaven's Wall City, let's go out for a walk. You've been cultivating all this while and haven't been here before. Let's take this opportunity to have some fun. In order to end this awkward scene, Pang Long's eyes lit up as he instantly thought of this method. He immediately said it out loud. Well, since that's the case, then it's decided. Everyone go ahead. However, you must return here before you reach the waist. Also, don't cause any trouble, okay? Hearing Pang Long's words, Lu Yunhan, who had been silent all this while, naturally knew what he was thinking. However, this was exactly what she was thinking. Yes, we obey. After hearing Pang Long and Lu Yunhan's words, the dozens of disciples nodded their heads. Excited smiles appeared on their faces as they left with smiles on their faces. Soon, only Gu Si and Lu Yunhan were left in the room. As for Pang Long, he also left after all the disciples had left. You're good, Gu Si. You're usually so honest and submissive. I never thought that there would be a day when you would talk back to an elder for a so-called friend. Looks like I need to talk to Father about this. With only the two of them left in the room, Lu Yunhan couldn't hold it in any longer. She turned her head to look at Gu Si and said with a look that said, You can do it. Let's not do it. Hearing Lu Yunhan's words, Gu Si hurriedly stopped her. He knew that if his master found out about this, he would definitely reflect on his actions. That depends on how you perform. Seeing her senior brother's pleading look, Lu Yunhan said with a mischievous smile, Junior sister, don't. As he spoke, Gu Si hurriedly used his hand to cover his chest with a look of fear. Seeing this, Lu Yunhan rolled her eyes at him. All right, I didn't say that I wanted to do anything to you. I only wanted to say that I remember Father handing you a storage pouch when he came out. Tell me, is there money inside? What? How did you? Hearing about the storage pouch, Gu Si's expression changed. Thinking about how he had already given the storage pouch to Lin Rei, Gu Si suddenly didn't know what to do with it. You still have a nerve to say that. After all, I'm the future successor of the Divine Sect, okay? Father only gave it to you and not me. I reckon that in the eyes of the successors of the Divine Realm's major sects, I'm the poorest person. As she spoke, Lu Yunhan hurriedly looked at Gu Si with a look that said, If you don't call me out, I'll do something to you. Sigh. Looking at Lu Yunhan, Gu Si said apologetically, Junior sister, I'm really sorry. Master did give me some money, but I've already given it all to that friend of mine. I what you? You're gonna piss me off? Lu Yunhan, who had originally thought that she had money, was dumbfounded the moment she heard this news. For a moment, she didn't feel good. Seeing her angry look, Gusi hurriedly left the room as if he was escaping. He knew that once when she was angry, she had directly smashed his father's wine sage that had taken away a powerful technique from the ancient tomb. He didn't want that to happen. Looking at the escaping Gusi, Lu Yunhan frowned. She was even more interested in the person who had left the group. She really wanted to meet someone who could make her senior brother act like this. Forget it. I'll take such a good opportunity to go out for a walk. The woman's face changed as quickly as flipping through the pages of a book. Immediately after, Lu Yunhan tidied herself up, calmed her emotions, and walked out of the inn towards the center of the Heaven's Wall city. At this moment, in another room of the inn, an angry voice rang out. Kid, if you weren't the sect leader's disciple, I would have torn you into pieces long ago. How could a junior in the divine king realm like you speak to me in such a manner? This person was Pang Long, who had been humiliated by Gu Si previously. After returning to his room, he immediately flew into a rage. Thinking about Gu Si's attitude and the humiliation he had received in the sect, Pang Long was instantly filled with anger. Grandfather, shut up. Just as Pang Long was about to explode in anger, Pang Guang, who had been standing silently by the side, opened his mouth. In the end, he was stopped by Pang Long's roar. You still have a nerve to call me grandfather. Look at you. That person is only a divine weapon realm ant. Look at you. What did you do? You let people point at your nose and scold your entire family, including me. Tell me, are you trying to piss me off or what? Looking at his grandfather, Pang Guang muttered to himself with an aggrieved expression. You're venting your anger on me after being bullied by Gu Si. I didn't want to. What did you say? For an expert with the experience of a monarch god, he could hear Pang Guang no matter how soft his voice was. No. Hearing his grandfather's words, Pang Guang was so frightened that he broke out in cold sweat. All right, go and find a few people. Turn Heaven's Wall city upside down. If necessary, go to the Assassin's organization and pass that person's portrait to them. You must kill that person no matter the cost. Do you understand? With that, a murderous look flashed across Pang Long's eyes. Then he took out a storage bag and handed it to Pang Guang, saying, This is money. Use as much as you want. I only want that person dead. Yes, I understand, grandfather. Looking at the storage bag in front of him, Pang Guang did not hesitate and took it. Then, he bid farewell and left. Just you wait. Those who humiliate me usually don't have a good ending. After seeing that his disappointing grandson had left, Pang Long, who was in the room, walked to the window and stared into the distance. His cold voice came out of his mouth. Achio. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was walking on the bustling streets of Heaven's Wall City, suddenly sneezed. A sense of uneasiness rose in his heart. What's going on? Could it be that someone is thinking about me? With that, Lin Rei did not pay too much attention to it and continued walking. Along the way, Lin Rei saw many inns and hotels. However, most of them did not suit Lin Rei's taste. Sigh. What exactly? Just as Lin Rei was fretting, his eyes suddenly glanced and a familiar figure appeared. Damn, what is she doing here? At this moment, Lin Rei saw none other than Lu Yunhan, who had stayed behind in the blanket and escaped alone in the divine Sect's forbidden grounds. Seeing that she was slowly walking in his direction and seeing that there was nowhere to hide, Lin Rei immediately pretended not to know her and walked forward. 20 meters, 10 meters, 5 meters. When she was 1 meter away, Lin Rei originally thought that it would be fine to just brush past her. However, coincidentally, Lu Yunhan's gaze was fixed on Lin Rei's body. Her body was fixed on the spot and did not move at all, as if she was in a daze. When this happened, the surrounding people also looked at each other. After that, there was no more opportunity. Miss, don't you think it's a little inappropriate for you to look at me like that? Although Lin Rei's expression was calm, and he acted as if he did not know her, His heart was beating like a drum, and he was extremely worried. Ah, don't you recognize me? Hearing Lin Ray's words, Lu Yunhan explained with an awkward expression. Oh, have we met before? This sentence was enough to express Lin Ray's current thoughts. He did not want to have anything to do with this woman in front of him. So what if she was the daughter of the divine Sect's sect master? Chapter 516. Lu Yunhan was filled with doubt as she looked at the person before her. She did not know if the person before her was related to the person who had saved her. However, based on their personalities alone, it was obvious that the two of them were different. Ah, I'm sorry. I have a friend who looks too much like you. Perhaps I've mistaken you for someone else. At this moment, Lu Yunhan was extremely embarrassed. She did not know what had happened to her. Perhaps she felt guilty towards the person who had saved her. Oh, since you're busy, I'll take my leave first. At this moment, Lin Ray was even more so. He did not want to stay here for even a moment longer. He was afraid that he would be exposed if he waited any longer. Just like that, Lu Yunhan had perfectly failed to recognize Lin Ray as the person who had saved her. Of course, this was actually what Lin Ray had hoped for. After leaving, Lin Ray heaved a sigh of relief. His body had completely relaxed at this moment. Luckily, she didn't recognize me. Otherwise, it would be troublesome, Lin Ray thought as he continued to walk forward. Meanwhile, Lu Yunhan was the exact opposite of Lin Ray. At this moment, Lu Yunhan was no longer in the mood to shop. When she thought of the person who had died in order to save her, she immediately felt irritated. "Sai, let's go back." As she spoke, she turned around and walked towards her residence with a disappointed and sorrowful expression. "Scram, you want to join our alchemist guild? Why don't you take a piss and see what kind of person you are?" Just as Lin Ray was about to find a place to stay, an uncoordinated voice suddenly rang out. Instantly, Lin Ray looked over and saw a fierce-looking man standing in front of the building. He was pointing a skinny boy on the ground and cursing him. Glancing around, he saw that the signboard on the door of the building had the words Alchemist Guild written on it. That ferocious-looking man was wearing the same clothes as the one in Linley's ring, but the color was slightly different. Linley's was black, while the man in front of him was wearing red. I didn't expect to come to the Alchemist Guild as soon as I entered the realm of the gods. At this point, Lin Ray recalled that when he had joined the guild in the lower realm, he had heard that as long as an alchemist was hard to find, the guild would help. I want to become an alchemist. Is it so difficult? My mother is still waiting for me to become an alchemist to treat her illness. Why are you? Ha ha! Before the boy on the ground could finish speaking, the fiendish man laughed and said, "Your mother, the son of an ant, should have died a long time ago. And you, the son of an ant, are delusional enough to want to learn the Tao of alchemy. I advise you to kill yourself with a piece of tofu, so as to avoid being an eyesore." As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people who were watching the show all became excited, and all of them started to cheer. That's right. Hurry up and die. Don't waste your time living in this world. Ha ha ha. One by one, the voices entered the boy's ears. Instantly, the begging eyes of the boy turned cold. He looked at the people around him with hatred and said in an extremely cold voice, You bunch of bastards. Just you wait. If I can rise up one day, I will definitely trample all of you who have humiliated me and look down on me under my feet. I will let you know that a commoner can also become a strong person. At this moment, the boy's words entered Lin Ray's ears. Instantly, his heart trembled and he started to admire this boy. I can kill you with one slap. When the surrounding passers-by heard the boy's words, they all looked at him with anger. Some of them even had the intention to kill him. Good, well said. At that moment, Linley's voice rang out and entered everyone's ears. Instantly, everyone, including the boy lying on the ground, turned to look at the source of the voice. You're human. How dare you act so arrogantly in front of the Alchemy Guild? Don't tell me you don't want to live anymore. The man who was looking at Lin Ray threatened him with a gloomy expression. However, If it was someone else, they might be afraid of the Alchemy Guild. However, Lin Rei was not. Who do you think you are? What right do you have to represent the Alchemy Guild? As he spoke, Lin Rei walked over to the boy's side and pulled him up. He then patted the dust off his body and said with a smile, "Little friend, I heard everything you said just now. What you said is right. So what if you are from a humble family? So what if you are from a wealthy family? So what if you are from a sect? So what if you are from an empire? As long as you have the heart to become an expert, then no one can stop you." At this point, Lin Rei couldn't help but pat the boy's shoulder and prepare to leave with him. You want to leave just like that? At this moment, the man's voice rang out again. Instantly, Lin Rei frowned. With a thought, he sent a telepathic message and left with the boy. "Come, give it to me." However, when he saw that Lin Rei ignored him, he felt that he had lost face. He then shouted behind him, and a few men immediately rushed towards Lin Rei. "Big brother, that..." At this moment, the boy who was being pulled by Lin Rei saw the men rushing towards him and said to Lin Rei in fear, "Haha, it's fine. Don't be afraid." Ignoring them, he continued to walk on his own. At this moment, just as those men were about to charge in front of Lin Li, 4 men dressed in black suddenly appeared. With a few punches and kicks, they killed those men. What? When he saw this, the man who was standing in front of the Alchemy Guild was shocked. With Lin Rei's help, in less than an hour, the two of them arrived at the most convenient place in the southern part of the city, the slums. Then, after passing through the alleys for a while, they stopped in front of a dilapidated house. "Master, I'm here." When they arrived, the boy hurriedly pushed open the door and walked in. At this moment, an old woman was lying on the bed with her eyes closed. There was still no trace of life. She had become a corpse. After sensing that the person on the bed was already a corpse, Lin Rei felt that it was a pity. However, Chun Guang, who was completely unaware of his feelings, hurriedly came to the bedside and said, "Mother, look, I found the elixir to save you." However, after Chun Guang finished speaking, the old woman lying on the bed didn't move. Her eyes were still closed, and she didn't respond. "Mother, you wake up." In this world, it was very common for people to die. For those children who were already in their teens, it was even more common. At this moment, Chun Guang realized something and his eyes couldn't help but moisten. "Mother, mother, wake up. Look at me, I'm back. I found the elixir to save you. Wake up, sob sob, wake up." Looking at Chun Guang, Lin Rei felt uncomfortable. He walked to Chun Guang's side and placed one hand on his back. He began to comfort him. "Don't cry. Your mother has passed away. If she was still alive, she wouldn't have wanted you to be like this." Lin Rei was very clear about Chun Guang's feelings. He had experienced this before. No, my mother is not dead. I, Master, I don't want to." As he spoke, Chun Guang began to cry bitterly. He was already as thin as a stick due to malnutrition. Because of the sadness and the psychological pressure, he fainted after crying for a while. Chapter 517. Looking at his sixth disciple, Lin Rei sighed and shook his head. Then he put the corpse on the bed into a storage ring, carried Chun Guang, and walked out. This time, Lin Rei didn't find a place to stay based on his intuition. Instead, he came to a bustling area and casually found a hotel to stay in. "Boss, give me 2 rooms. All right, follow me." At this moment, a waiter hurriedly walked up and led Lin Rei to the back. Lin Rei didn't say anything along the way. He only used his gentle spiritual energy to help Chun Guang nourish his spiritual meridians so that his cultivation would be smoother in the future. "All right, 2 guests. We've arrived at your room. Here's the key." After a while, the waiter stopped and turned around to point to a courtyard in front. Then, he took out a key and handed it to Lin Rei. All right." After taking the key, Lin Rei walked into the courtyard, ignoring the waiter who was still in the courtyard. "Jia." After entering the courtyard, Lin Rei casually found a room and placed Chun Guang on the bed. Then, he walked out and returned to his own room. After closing the door, Lin Rei couldn't wait to let out his wife Lin Tian and his male brother. As for Sha Tian, Lin Ray didn't let him out because he was too pretentious. Young master. At this moment, Lin Tian bowed to Lin Ray as soon as he saw him. All right, sit down. This isn't divine sect anymore, so there's no need to be so restrained. Also, other than Gu Si from divine sect who knows me and my true face, no one else knows me. After hearing Lin Ray's words, everyone immediately relaxed and found a place to sit down. Seeing how relaxed they were, Lin Ray smiled, then sat down next to Lu Ying. For the next few days, you can go out and walk around. I will get someone to help you. As for the next few days, there will be an auction in a few days. You can go there and find some spiritual herbs that can help you improve your cultivation. Auction. At this moment, the eyes of the young man who was chatting at the table lit up when he heard about the auction. Oh, well, we have to wait a few days. It's too early now. Looking at the appearance of his younger brother, Lin Ray knew that his heart of a businessman was ignited again. Oh, looking at everyone's expression, Lin Ray hurriedly told them about the Divine Realm's transportation currency. Then, he took out the jade slip and began to read it. The Divine World was known as the 9 prefectures and was divided into 9 prefectures. The other 8 prefectures had their own overlords, but the 9th prefecture was also an uninhabited land. There were opportunities, riches, and even more so, death. Up until now, no one had been able to explore the depths of the 9th prefecture. Seeing this sentence, Lin Ray became curious. Originally, when Lin Ray was talking about Gu Si, he was already interested. Now Lin Ray was even more intrigued. Then, Lin Ray continued reading. In the Divine Realm, there were both righteous and demonic existences. They were the soul-refining sect, which mainly refined living people and refined them into their own battle generals. This action was intolerable. Then, there was the corpse ghost sect, which mainly dug up graves and dug up corpses to accumulate death energy and corpse energy to aid their cultivation. Of course, the corpse ghost sect also had a terrifying technique, which was to refine corpses into corpse puppets, which were a huge help in battle. Seeing this, Lin Ray was stunned. He didn't expect that the soul-refining sect strength would be so intertwined. And at this moment, when Lin Ray continued reading, a name appeared at a place that was originally blank. Falling Star Pavilion, which is listed as a demonic sect, has never done anything that offends the heavens and reason. They're even more open and upright than some righteous sections. Their current sect master is called Liao Bufan, an expert with the cultivation of God Emperor. The others have a son and a daughter, whose average cultivation is God Emperor. They are well-known figures among the younger generation of the Divine Realm. Seeing this, Lin Ray began to sort out the sects of the 9 prefectures. At least, when he was here, they only introduced righteous sects, but never mentioned the existence of demonic sections. Regarding this, Lin Ray was filled with disdain for these so-called righteous sections. However, the next thing that Lin Ray was most interested in was the currency of the Divine Realm's goods. The currency of the Divine Realm is divided into copper coins, silver coins, gold coins, black gold, and purple gold. The most precious one is dragon gold. Of course, most of them are purple gold because dragon gold is very precious. Generally, when it appears, it should be the reappearance of the dragon race of the ancient divine beast race. Moreover, the value of the currency was different. The probability of silver coins to copper coins was 1 to 100, and so on. One could imagine how valuable dragon gold was. And the reason why dragon gold was so valuable. Not only was it valuable, but more importantly, dragon gold was a material to refine divine tools. After reading all this, Lin Ray didn't continue reading, because there was no need to continue reading. Withdrawing his divine sense, Lin Ray's face still couldn't calm down, especially when he knew about the demonic sect. And at this moment, when the 3 people who had been waiting at the side saw Lin Ray's face, they were all puzzled. You guys go out for a walk. I'll get them to help you guys. I still have things to do. Without giving them an answer, he released the Shura clan members that had been assigned to them and told them to hide. Yes, Hearing this, they didn't dare to refute. Moreover, they really wanted to see what the cities of the divine realm were like. This is for you guys. Buy whatever you want. Spirit stones are useless here, so we use gold coins and silver coins. With that, Lin Ray took out all the money that Gu Si gave him and handed it to Lu Ying and the others. Then he closed his eyes. Oh, although they were a little shocked by the information they just heard, they didn't say much in the end. In the end, they walked out of the room with the Shura clan members assigned to protect them. At this moment, the room was empty. Looking at the tightly shut door, they became nervous. It hasn't been like this in the divine realm. Looks like we have to quickly accumulate money. Otherwise, we won't be able to do anything. It's good that you know. Hearing the little dragon's lazy voice, Lin Ray instantly rolled his eyes and said, "You still have the nerve to talk about me. You didn't tell me anything when we came to the divine realm. Just before I entered Heaven's Wall City, With that, a loud laugh came out of the little dragon's mouth. Instantly, Lin Ray's face was filled with helplessness. You still have a nerve to laugh. Let me tell you, you tricked me this time. I don't care. Later, when I refine the magical weapon, you can't be idle." With that, Lin Ray looked at the little dragon with a mischievous smile, as if he wanted to do something. "All right, I know. You're so long-winded. Don't worry." Seeing the little dragon's tacit agreement, Lin Ray's heart relaxed a little. Then, Lin Ray took out all the spiritual herbs he collected in the divine sect. Finally, he handed them all to Zhao Longfei and said with a smile, "Remember, refine all of them into high-tier emperor pills. Now, the divine realm recognizes this. If it's any lower, I'm afraid I can only give it to myself in the end." TCH, do you think I'm stupid? After rolling his eyes at Lin Ray, the little dragon took the storage pouches and storage rings filled with experience and disappeared from reality. He returned to the system and began to refine pills using the automatic pill refining system that had long been activated. Looking at the place where the little dragon disappeared, Lin Ray laughed twice. Then, he took out all the materials he was about to refine the magical weapon. Then, the illusory spirit blood fire appeared in Lin Ray's hand without warning. 1 month. I don't know how many magical weapons I can refine in 1 month. Thinking about it, the illusory spirit blood fire moved and turned into a flaming hand. It directly grabbed all the refining materials and began to refine. Lin Ray didn't dare to guarantee this method. Previously, he had only refined them bit by bit. Now, he was going to refine them all in one pot. As for what the final result would be, Lin Ray didn't know. Boom! As time passed, the illusory spirit blood fire in Lin Ray's hand continued to burn. At this moment, the refining materials in the illusory spirit blood fire began to show signs of melting. As expected, this thing is much easier to refine than the sword and the flute. Although Lin Ray said so, he still wanted to refine a magical weapon like the sword and the flute. That was a weapon that could level up. But this was impossible. At that time, he had the right time, place, and people. Now, Lin Ray was just thinking about it. TSK, what should I refine? As the materials in the illusory spirit blood fire melted little by little, Lin Ray's problem arose. Although the materials had melted, he didn't know what to refine. Spiritual fire crystal, hollowwood branch, TSK, what should I refine? Suddenly, an idea came to him, and then he began to work. Pouring his spiritual energy into the melted materials, Linley began to continuously inscribe a soul-gathering formation and a defensive formation. It must be understood that Linley was a formation master who had broken through to the zone level. The formations he inscribed were extremely powerful. At this moment, in Lin Ray's spiritual world, 2 formations had been formed. Both of them were at the peak of the Emperor level. He believed that, coupled with the function of a magical weapon, the refining process would definitely shock everyone. Then, he poured his spiritual strength again. The things in his mind began to condense using the melted refining materials. Time passed little by little. The refining process gradually came to an end. The liquid in the illusory spirit blood fire began to take shape slowly. Boom, boom, boom. The fire of the illusory spirit blood fire continued to burn. As time passed, a red pearl hairpin appeared in the illusory spirit blood fire. Done. Everything had come to an end. However, Linley's hands quickly formed a series of hand seals. Instantly, the formation he had prepared long ago was completely branded onto the pearl hairpin. Instantly, a divine artifact was successfully forged. Chapter 518. Suddenly, just as Lin Ray was about to retrieve the hairpin, the divine artifact in the illusory spirit blood fire suddenly broke through the control of his divine fire and mental energy and flew up. Bang! The power of the hairpin was too strong. The moment the hairpin touched the roof, a hole was blasted in the roof. The hairpin flew to the control room and stopped there. F***, it can't be. Seeing this, Linley couldn't help but think back to the time he had spent concocting pills. This was what happened when pills underwent tribulation. Thinking of this, in order to not draw attention to himself, Linley swallowed a disguise pill which he had prepared beforehand. Instantly, his appearance changed. Then, Lin Ray flew up into the sky and stopped beside the hairpin. He looked up and waited for the arrival of the divine tribulation. However, after a long time, the sky was still very clear and there was no sign of the divine tribulation. F***, what's going on? What's going on? Looking at the hairpin beside him, Lin Ray was a little helpless. If you want to go through the divine tribulation, then so be it. At least let the divine tribulation come out. You're making things difficult for me. However, at this moment, all the cultivators in the Heaven's Wall City sensed Lin Ray rushing up into the sky and looked up. However, after a long time, everyone lost their patience. Even Lin Ray was the same. He didn't have time to waste here. Then, he looked at the hairpin beside him. After looking at it with hidden bitterness, he reached out to grab it. Just when Lin Ray thought he was going to grab it, the hairpin's body suddenly shook. Suddenly, a wave of energy appeared and shook Lin Ray's hand away. F***, what's going on? This was the first time Lin Ray had seen this phenomenon. At the same time, he was a little confused about the divine artifact that he had refined. Logically speaking, it shouldn't be like this. Even if you want to go through the divine tribulation, so what? It shouldn't be like this. However, it obviously didn't want to touch it. Just like that, Lin Ray floated in the air like a fool, allowing the people of Heaven's Wall City to look at him as if he was an idiot. Time passed little by little. Just as Lin Ray was about to make a move, the pearl hairpin that had been standing motionlessly beside him moved and obediently returned to Lin Ray's hand. This made Lin Ray even more confused. After all this fuss, this was the result. However, in order not to let the people underground continue to rely on him, Lin Ray clutched the pearl hairpin tightly and fled back to his room. Just you wait. Lin Ray, who had returned to his room, threw the hairpin in his hand to the ground and was about to kick him. But at this moment, the little dragon, who was helping him refine pills, appeared and stopped him in time. Please don't. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Ray looked at him doubtfully and asked, "Why? Don't you know that this thing is, I know. He's not playing with you, but there's a restriction in the sky above Heaven's Wall City. It's strange that this restriction can withstand the lightning tribulation. So, he really was going through the tribulation just now. It's just that you didn't know and didn't see it." Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray couldn't help but look up at the empty sky. However, he believed the little dragon's words very much, so he didn't pay attention to the pearl hairpin on the ground. At this moment, as if sensing that Lin Ray's anger had subsided, the pearl hairpin returned to Lin Ray's hand with a whoosh. Seeing that the pearl hairpin was so spiritual, Lin Ray didn't want to auction it off anymore. "So I forget it. Since you're fated to be with me, then keep it by my side." As he spoke, Lin Ray reached out to take the hairpin off his head and inserted the one that he had refined in his hand. However, When he looked in the direction where the little dragon was, it was completely empty. Not even a strand of hair could be seen. Heh, you only know how to be mysterious. Seeing that the little dragon had disappeared, Lin Ray didn't bother. Then, thinking that he had no money on him, Lin Ray immediately sat down and took out some materials to refine weapons again. In the blink of an eye, 25 days passed. On the first night of Lin Ray's closed-door cultivation to refine weapons, Lu Ying and the other two returned and felt the heat waves from the room. Everyone immediately realized that they didn't have a chance. Just as they were about to leave, the unconscious Chen Guang woke up and saw Lu Ying and the others. At the same time, Lu Ying also observed Chen Guang and found out about Chen Guang's identity. In the end, Lu Ying began to take care of him. In these 5 days, Lin Ray didn't appear and was busy refining weapons. At this moment, in the room beside Lin Ray, all sorts of different weapons were lying quietly on the floor. Fan, flute, stick, long sword, giant sword, 10 weapons. They were all different in size and style, but the power they exuded was the same. Had done. At this moment, in the illusory spirit blood fire in Lin Ray's hand, a pearl appeared. He, the heavenly spirit pearl, is bound to have a powerful killing array. At the same time, it has a spirit gathering array. As long as it doesn't succeed, it can last forever. Looking at this little toy that he had refined, Lin Ray was elated. He had thought of this idea by accident. Originally, he just wanted to give it a try, but he didn't expect that it would actually succeed in the end. The fire was extinguished, and a black pearl appeared in Linley's hand. As soon as the pearl touched Linley's hand, he felt an icy cold sensation, but an extremely strong feeling of solidity wash over him. Tisk, although the refining is successful, I wonder how powerful it is. Looking at this new little toy in his hand, Lin Ray wanted to test it immediately. However, after all, there are only a few days before the auction. Lin Ray wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to accumulate some money. Thinking about this, Lin Ray resisted the urge to test the heavenly spirit pearl. Then, he threw the last set of refining materials that he had prepared into the illusory spirit blood fire and began refining. After a few days of cultivation, Lin Ray found that he was becoming more and more skilled in refining divine weapons. However, at this moment, he was refining a very difficult divine weapon to refine. It was an exquisite pagoda. It was a storage magic treasure, but at the same time, it was also something without a universe. Lin Ray didn't have much confidence in it. Although he could refine divine weapons, he still didn't have the confidence to refine a divine weapon of this price and difficulty. Lin Ray shouted. Then, he increased the intensity of the illusory spirit blood fire and began refining the void stone. Space stone was an extremely rare material for crafting weapons. Most people would use a storage stone when crafting storage rings. But Linley had come across this space stone by chance, and it was for the sake of crafting something similar to the Cosmos Cauldron. Refine. Looking at the void stone in the illusory spirit blood fire, Lin Ray didn't know when he would be able to refine it. However, he wanted to give it a try. Even if he didn't succeed, at least he would have worked hard and know his own worth. 4 days later, there was only 1 day left before the auction. At this moment, the 3 people who had been waiting outside the door were very anxious. However, the one who was more anxious was the young man. His family were merchants, and he had established the 9 Heavens Trading Company in the Immortal Realm. Now that he was in the Immortal Realm, he couldn't help but want to see the auction. However, there was only 1 day left, and Lin Ray still hadn't appeared. He was anxious. "All right, young man. Don't you think it's tiring to walk around like this? My eyes are getting blurry." At this moment, Lin Tian, who was standing at the side, was also anxiously waiting. However, he wasn't like the young man. "TSK, you still have the cheek to talk about me. Aren't you anxious?" Seeing Lin Tian's calm appearance, but his eyes revealed his nervousness, he couldn't hide it from the young man's eyes. He immediately started teasing him. "All right, you two. Can't you wait patiently? Since Brother Lei said that he would participate, then he will definitely come out. Look at you two. You're both old people from the Xuanzong Sect, and have seen the world. Why are you still acting like children? At this moment, Lu Ying, who was also anxious, heard them chattering nonstop and immediately stopped them. Hearing Lu Ying's words, the two of them instantly shut their mouths and stopped talking. Bang! At this moment, Lin Rei, who was refining weapons in the room, saw that the void stone had already melted. He was overjoyed and didn't think much about it. He released his spiritual energy and wrapped the remaining materials in it, then threw them all into the illusory spirit blood fire. Boom! After all the materials were thrown into the illusory spirit blood fire, the entire illusory spirit blood fire exploded. An intense heat began to spread in all directions. As for these materials, Linley was able to easily refine them. As they melted into liquid form, Linley began to form them according to his own thoughts. Heaven and earth as the core. Use the void stone to open the hidden space. Even the realm of transformation open. With a loud shout, he quickly formed a strange seal. The void stone liquid in the illusory spirit blood fire started to merge into the 9-story pagoda in the form of strange runes. Wong! Every time a rune entered the pagoda, the light of the pagoda would become even brighter. At first, it was red, but as more runes entered the pagoda, it became yellow, and finally, it became purple. Not only that, but the aura of the pagoda was also increasing rapidly. Looking at the level of the pagoda, Lin Rei was so excited that tears flowed out of his eyes. Good. The last step. Success or failure depends on this. Then, a rune that was several times bigger than the previous one appeared. However, at this moment, cold sweat began to form on Lin Rei's forehead. Phew! Looking at the magical weapon that was about to take shape, Lin Rei let out a long sigh. At this moment, just as Lin Rei exhaled, he quickly formed a seal in his hand. The rune that was several times bigger than the previous one completely merged into the pagoda. Dong, 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 dong. The moment all this was completed, the sound of a bell rang out. It was so loud that even the formation that Lin Rei had set up around the area couldn't stop it. It rushed out and made a melodious sound that spread throughout the entire Heaven's Wall city. Chapter 519. Hearing the sound, Lin Rei was helpless. The only thing he could do was to keep it and make it recognize him as its master. You want to run? In order to prevent the previous incident from happening, Lin Rei had set up many formations in advance. He was afraid that he would not be able to control it after he mastered it. Indeed, what had happened earlier still happened. However, Linley had already taken precautions against what had happened earlier. When he saw that the 9-story pagoda was about to break free from his control, Linley hurriedly set up several trapping formations in the surrounding area. They were all Emperor-level trapping formations to begin with, but under Linley's design, they were all linked together. Linley wasn't even sure what the final level of the trapping formations would be, but as for their power, it was obvious. The 9-story pagoda wanted to break free from the trap formations. In the end, it was just wishful thinking. Seeing this, Lin Rei chuckled. Then, he came to the 9-story pagoda and reached out to grab it. Little thing, I made you, and you're still trying to play tricks on me. As he spoke, Linley slapped his palm against the body of the 9-story pagoda. And then, with a dawn sound, the sound of the bell once more rang out. Damn, what's going on? It's obviously a pagoda. Why is there a bell ringing? He was very clear about the things that he had refined, but this inexplicable sound of the bell had blinded him, and he didn't know what it was. Lin Rei, who could not figure it out for a long time, gave up directly. Then, he dripped his blood into the 9-story pagoda. Suddenly, a brilliant light shone in the whole room. If it were not for the formation, the brilliant light would have rushed up to the sky and entered the 9 heavens. After a quarter of an hour, Lin Rei completely controlled the 9-story pagoda's power. Of course, if Lin Rei had not refined it himself, a quarter of an hour would not be enough to completely control it. It would take at least a few years to completely refine it. Oh, it's okay. although it's a little different from the universal bell. But its performance is still okay. As he spoke, Lin Ray waved his hand. The 9-story pagoda appeared in his hand and sat there quietly. TSK, what should I name it? Thinking of names, Lin Ray was in a difficult position. What he hated the most in his life was naming. Now that he thought about it, none of his children's names were his. The only exception was his son, Jin. As he thought about this, Lin Ray lowered his head to look at the 9-story pagoda in his hands. The pagoda's body was purple, and it was graceful and majestic. But there was a stroke of genius on the pagoda that added the finishing touch. There was a blood-colored bell hanging on each of the 4 sides of the 9-story tower. It gave the entire 9-story tower a demonic and evil feeling, but overall it looked very good. That's right. You were refined using the Void Stone as your main body, so I'll call you the Void Tower. Right here. Lin Ray's eyes lit up. He seemed to have thought of something and immediately opened his mouth to speak. Wong. When 9-story pagoda heard Lin Ray's words, his body trembled, as if he were very excited to receive this name. Okay, I'll call you the Void Tower from now on. Looking at the first spatial magic treasure he refined, Lin Ray's heart was filled with indescribable excitement. Especially when he thought of the function room of the Void Tower, Lin Ray became even more excited. Originally, Lin Ray only wanted the Void Tower to have the same function as the Cosmos Bell. But in the end, the Void Tower exceeded Lin Ray's imagination. Although it looked like it had 9 floors from the outside, it was different from the inside. Each floor had 3,000 spaces, and there were different sceneries inside. Of course, as long as Lin Ray thought about it, he could change them at will. Lin Ray was very excited about this. Similarly, the Void Tower was not only a storage space, but Lin Ray had also engraved a large number of formations on it during the refining process. It could be said that the Void Tower was an existence that was both offensive and defensive. Looking at the Void Tower in his hand and the divine weapons he refined on the ground, he did not even look at them. He put them into an empty storage bag, opened the door, and walked out. Lei Ji, you came out in the afternoon. As soon as Lin Ray stepped out of the room, he heard the male brother's anxious voice. Then, Lin Ray looked in front of him suspiciously and realized that it wasn't just the male brother. Even Lin Tian was the same. Hey, you guys, what's wrong with you guys? Looking at them, Lin Ray was very confused. He didn't know why they were so anxious. Husband, today is the start of the auction. According to the time, if you don't hurry, it might start soon. At this moment, when Luing saw his husband's confused expression, he immediately spoke up. Oh, hearing this, Lin Ray returned to his senses. He forgot that the male brother was so anxious because he heard about the auction. Looking up at the sky, Lin Ray's eyes focused, and he said, Let's go. Let's go see what treasures they have at the auction. With that, Lin Ray stored the Void Tower in his hand into the system and lowered his head to pull Luing outside. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Seeing that Lin Ray was leaving, the male brother couldn't wait and hurriedly followed. At this moment, he had a smile on his face and was as happy as a child. Hearing the joyous sounds coming from behind, Lin Ray didn't need to turn around to imagine the male brother's expression at this moment. Just like that, Lin Ray silently walked to Xiao Yao Pavilion and took out the invitation given to him by the service staff before walking in. Dear guest, you're here. As soon as he entered Xiao Yao Pavilion, the service staff from that day appeared in front of Lin Ray and spoke in a gentle tone. HM? Hee. Looking at him, Lin Ray obviously didn't think that he was waiting for him, so he didn't pay too much attention to it. He nodded and prepared to leave. Hey, sir, please wait for a moment. Your room is upstairs, and it's noisy downstairs. How can I let you sit there? Oh. Hearing the service staff's words, Lin Ray was at a loss. He really couldn't figure out why. Sir, come with a smile. The service staff's voice sounded again. Hearing this, Lin Ray hurriedly followed. Although he didn't know what the service staff was up to, Lin Ray also liked to have a secluded place. Along the way, they didn't speak and just followed the service staff until they arrived at the door of a private room in the center of the second floor. Sir, please go in. This room is reserved for you. Hearing this, Lin Ray looked over. With one look, Lin Ray was startled. At this moment, the door of the private room was made of snow pear wood. Snow pear wood was extremely rare in the immortal world and was extremely precious in the immortal world. However, it was made into a door here. Because of this, Lin Ray had no choice but to reevaluate the strength of Xiao Yao Pavilion. Oh, right, call the person in charge here. Tell him that I have a business deal to discuss with him. This time, Lin Ray's main purpose was to auction off his divine tools and elixirs. Seeing that the service staff was about to leave, Lin Ray couldn't help but speak. Okay, please wait a moment. I'll call our person in charge here. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the service staff hurriedly nodded and left. Seeing the service staff leave, Lin Ray hurriedly pushed open the door and walked in. Damn, this is... Just as Lin Ray entered, a surprised voice came from behind. Then, the figure of a young man appeared. He went directly to the table and touched the table with a face full of surprise. Sweetheart wood. This is the rarest sweetheart wood for refining tools. Damn, this is... At this point, the young man's eyes swept over a white crystal ball on the side. Then, the young man decisively left the table and walked to the crystal ball to touch it. Seeing this, Lin Ray helplessly shook his head and covered his face in embarrassment. He really didn't want to know this person in front of him. That's enough, young man. Aren't you ashamed? In any case, you used to run a business and were popular in the immortal world. Look at you now, what have you become? At this time, Lin Tian couldn't stand it anymore and directly walked up to the young man and said, Hearing Lin Tian's words and seeing everyone's reaction, the young man immediately knew that he was acting strangely. He hurriedly corrected his attitude and said seriously, Brother Lei, you don't know how precious these things are. They're all rare heavenly treasures. I just didn't expect that they would be treated as decorations here. As he spoke, the young man pointed at the white crystal ball and said excitedly, This is a stalactite bead formed by millions of years of condensed divine sense in the stalactite liquid. Its effects can't be compared to ordinary things. After hearing the young man talk about the white bead, Lin Ray couldn't help but be shocked. When he entered, he felt that this carefree pavilion was different. He didn't expect, all right, everyone stop touching. If someone sees us, they'll think that we're country bumpkins who haven't seen the world. As he spoke, Lin Ray put away all his curiosity. Furthermore, the things here had nothing to do with him. Even if he knew, it would only add to his envy and excitement. After pulling Lu Ying to a chair, Lin Ray took out some fruits he picked in the Divine Sect's forbidden area and placed them on the table for everyone to share. Then, he added the tea that was already prepared. Eat and wait. I'm sure they'll be here soon. As he spoke, Lin Ray picked up a red fruit and bit into it. The fruit melted in his mouth and turned into a majestic energy that surged into his body, becoming a part of Lin Ray's energy. Feeling the fruit's effects, Lin Ray couldn't help but eat a few more mouthfuls. His face was filled with surprise. Damn, boy, you're simply wasting natural resources recklessly. Just as Lin Ray was about to refine all the fruits into a part of his energy, the little dragon's voice rang out. Xiaolong's voice suddenly rang out, causing Lin Li's heart to tremble. He asked suspiciously, Why? Is this fruit very expensive? At this moment, the little dragon heard Lin Ray's words, an impulse to hit someone surged in its heart. Chapter 520. F*CKU. Can this be described as expensive or not? The purple spirit fruit is one of the main ingredients for refining supreme level elixirs. There's also the waterwood fruit and the fire plume fruit. These were all left behind by me. How dare you give them to me? I. Speaking of this, Xiaolong's stomach was filled with anger. He couldn't wait to rush out and beat him up right now. What? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was stunned. He originally thought that the little dragon had left them behind because it felt that they were useless. F*CK. Then, Lin Ray, who came back to his senses, hurriedly kept the uneaten fruits on the table. When he thought of the fruits that he had eaten while waiting for her under the blanket, Lin Ray's heart ached. What's wrong with you?" At this moment, Ruoshin, who was sitting next to him, asked worriedly. "Oh no, nothing." Lin Ray, who was enduring the pain in his heart, responded to his wife. Looking at the remaining half of the fruit in his hand, Lin Ray subconsciously kept it. You. At this moment, the little dragon in the system saw Lin Ray's actions and became even angrier. However, it didn't say anything. Dong, dong, dong. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. After hearing it, Lin Ray hurriedly said, "Please come in." With a Jia, the door was pushed open and a beautiful figure, a curvaceous lady, walked in. However, what made people unhappy was that the lady's face was covered and her appearance couldn't be seen clearly. "You are." Looking at the lady, Lin Ray was slightly stunned. Then, he came back to his senses and asked, "Hello, let me introduce myself. I'm a manager of this carefree pavilion. I just heard that you wanted to do business with me." Hearing the lady's reply, Lin Ray hurriedly nodded. Then, he took out the storage bag with the legendary artifact and placed it on the table, making an inviting gesture. Hee hee. Seeing Lin Ray's actions, the woman smiled faintly. Her voice was as clear as an oriole's and her graceful figure. Fortunately, Lin Ray was a married man. Otherwise, he would have definitely been mesmerized by her laughter. The woman sat down, picked up the bag of holding on the table, and sent her divine sense into it. When she saw the dozen or so divine artifacts inside the bag, she was stunned. Withdrawing from the bag of holding, the woman's eyes widened as she stared at Lin Ray in shock. Her clear voice rang out, This, you want to? Not bad." After getting the confirmation, the woman quickly stood up and said to Lin Ray and the others, "My name is Kong Jun. Do you intend to auction these items or sell them directly to our carefree pavilion?" Regarding this issue, it was different. As the young man who had once owned the Nine Heavens Trading Company, he was the clearest about it. Miss Kong, there's no doubt about this. Of course, we'll auction them." Hearing this voice, Kong Jun turned to look. When she saw that it was only her younger brother, Kong Jun once again turned her gaze to Lin Li, asking for his opinion. However, Lin Ray naturally agreed with the young man's suggestion. After all, he was just a newbie in this aspect. Do as he says and auction them all. All right. After hearing the confirmation, the woman's face clearly showed her disappointment. However, she still nodded in agreement. "Please wait a moment. I'll go and have your items appraised by the master. After the appraisal, I'll arrange for them to be auctioned." Having said that, Kong Jun prepared to leave. However, just as she turned around, Lin Ray's voice rang out again. "Wait, Miss Kong Jun, do you accept elixirs here?" "What? You still have elixirs to sell?" At this moment, the woman was completely shocked. In the cultivation world, the most precious things were, of course, cultivation techniques. However, other than cultivation techniques, the most precious things were elixirs and weapons. However, seeing the person in front of her sell two of the most important items at once, although she was the manager of Carefree Pavilion, this was the first time something like this had happened. "That's right. If you're selling them, then let's sit down and talk. Of course, if you don't accept them, I can go to the Alchemist Guild and take a look at them." No. We'll accept them. As long as your goods are good. As long as they're good, there's nothing we won't accept. After saying that, Kong Jun sat down again, looking as if she was discussing a big business deal. At this moment, Lin Ray's divine thought had entered the system and arrived at the place where the elixirs were automatically refined. He saw the little dragon standing there busily. "Hey, little dragon, how's the refining of the elixirs?" Not bad." Hearing Lin Ray's voice, the little dragon turned around and said with a relaxed face while holding a full bottle of elixirs, "Well then, give me all the elixirs you've refined." After saying that, Lin Ray stretched out his hand to the little dragon. In Lin Ray's range, he should be able to refine at least 10 bottles in a month. "Here." Looking at Lin Ray's hand, the little dragon gave a strange smile. Then, with a wave of his hand, a series of crackling sounds could be heard. In an instant, thousands of bottles flew towards Lin Ray. Damn. Bang, bang, bang. Before Linley could even say anything, the thousands of bottles had completely swallowed him up. Ha ha. As soon as this scene appeared, the little dragon laughed loudly. Even though Lin Ray was buried in the bottles, he could still hear the little dragon's laughter. Oomph, you tricked me again. Even so, Lin Ray was not angry. His divine thought instantly enveloped all the elixir bottles around him. The moment a storage bag appeared, Lin Ray quickly put all the elixirs into it. After everything was done, Lin Ray regained his freedom. He snorted coldly at the little dragon and disappeared. His divine thought returned to his body, and then the storage bag with thousands of bottles of elixirs was placed in front of Kong Jun. He said, "Maybe there are a little too many elixirs here, if you can." Before Lin Ray finished speaking, Kong Jun took the storage bag, and her divine thought instantly entered the storage bag. Hiss! Kong Jun sucked in a breath of cold air, and the shock on her face was undisguised. If there was one day in her life that gave her the most shock, it would undoubtedly be now. She really did not expect to receive such a large order today. Regaining her senses, Kong Jun looked at Linley with curiosity in her eyes. In her heart, she said, How many more secrets do you have? Before coming here, I could sense that you had many secrets on you. But now, it seems I underestimated you." Thinking of this, Kong Jun stood up and said to Lin Ray, "All right, wait here for a moment. I'll go confirm it now. When everything is settled, I'll come back and report to you." Then, without waiting for Lin Ray to reply, Kong Jun hurriedly left. Seeing that beautiful voice disappear, Lin Ray looked away. Was it nice? Suddenly, a voice sounded. Lin Ray, who was in a daze, answered without hesitation. It was nice. However, the moment he answered, Lin Ray regretted it because the voice belonged to his wife, Lu Ying. Ying Er, listen to me. It's not what you think. I really... I'm ignoring you. Go look for her. Without waiting for Lin Ray to finish speaking, Lu Ying angrily left and walked to the side to sit down. Seeing this, Lin Ray was dumbfounded for a moment. He never thought that Lu Ying would be like this. Seeing that Lu Ying was still angry, Lin Ray didn't dare to go forward. In the place where he used to live, there was a saying, "As long as a woman is angry, don't go forward because you'll die a horrible death." Although Lin Ray didn't want to admit it, he didn't dare to go forward. Just like that, the two of them sat on opposite sides, ignoring each other. The other two people in a room felt the atmosphere and didn't dare to interrupt. At this moment, on the top floor of Xiao Yao Pavilion, Kong Jun handed the two storage bags in her hands to an old man and said, "Elder, take a look at these things." HM. The old man, who was resting with his eyes closed, immediately opened his eyes when he heard Kong Jun's voice. A smile appeared on his stern face. It's Miss. Take a look at these two things first." Seeing the old man smile, Kong Jun also smiled, but under that smile, there was a hint of excitement. Okay. The old man nodded in agreement and picked up the two storage bags in front of him. Without hesitation, he sent his divine sense into them. Hiss! The same expression appeared on Kong Jun's face as before. Her eyes widened, and she looked extremely shocked. "How is it, Elder? Are these things real?" Actually, Kong Jun already knew the answer when she saw the reaction. Miss, with these things, our Xiao Yao Pavilion is on a whole new level." Speaking up to this point, the wrinkles on his face were squeezed to the point where it was hard to look straight at him. Really, hearing the old man's words, Kong Jun's face was full of excitement and excitement. "Yes, but to be honest, Miss, these things are the best of the best. Take one of the divine weapons, for example. It's the best of the medium-grade divine weapons, and it's not inferior at all. Even a high-grade divine weapon is slightly inferior to it." What? So strong? Originally, she thought these things were good enough. She didn't expect them to be so strong. Because of this, Kong Jun was even more curious about Lin Ray. Not only his identity, not only the 4 godly emperors who were hiding in the sky, but more importantly, he was a person. "Miss, where did you get these things?" Such a large number of things. Could it be that the Alchemy Guild and the Weapon Refining Guild? From the looks of it, such a large number of things could only belong to these two guilds. No one else could have them. No, these things were given to me by a very mysterious person to auction. What it's not. The old man was even more shocked after hearing Kongjin's reply. According to his knowledge, only these two guilds were capable of producing such a large number of items. If it were a sect, family, or empire, none of them would be capable of doing so. They would treasure these items, let alone sell them. If this wasn't the work of a guild, then the question was who could have done it? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.